What? Hello today. Hello, welcome in. Welcome for joining everyone. How we doing today? Thank you so much for stopping in, Raid Dog 2004. Welcome for joining and goodbye. Get the fuck out of here. You're dead. You've gone to sleep. Au revoir. See you around. Till next year. Hey, Jelly Bucket. Hello, hello. Welcome in. Welcome for joining. Dreamy. Hey, welcome in. Welcome for joining. Hey, Gangster Boy 2854. What's poppin'? Wow, y'all sure are talking about a lot of stuff that has nothing to do with Doki Doki Literature Club. Gee, that sure is. Okay, joking aside though, that's actually really neat that you learned how to play the Halo theme song on piano. How do you get a piano to go, oh, like how do you get a piano to do that? I am intrigued. But hello, welcome in, welcome for joining. How we doing today? Breaking fucking news. Well, first of all, congratulations, Gamer of the Day, Jelly_Bucket. Enjoy that, gamer. The Taco Bell rings for thee. Breaking fucking news, all right? Zero is the Nonary games, 999 and Virtue's Last Reward are available on Xbox Game Pass. If you have Game Pass, fuck you. You have no excuse. Go play those games now. Those games are fan-fucking-tastic. Also, the Somnium Files is still available. Breaking news. The Somnium Files is still on Game Pass. Go fucking play those games. They're fantastic. Go fucking play Zero Escape, the Nonary games, which is the first two games in the Zero Escape series. 999, aka 9 hours, 9 persons, 9 doors. Or is it 9 doors, 9 hours, 9 persons? Or is it 9 persons, 9 hours, 9 doors? Fuck, it's 999, that's all I know. And then Zero Escape, Virtue's Last Reward. That one's a little easier to remember, thank fucking God. Breaking fucking news, they're on Game Pass now, bitch. Go play them. Go play them, they ain't no excuse. Go enjoy the series and then get really sad when you get to the third game and realize that, oh, hey, this is not the intended ending. The game just didn't have enough budget to actually do what they wanted to do. But that's fine because now we got the Somnium Files, aka the Kaname Date cringe compilation. Now you too can experience characters canonically talking about their cuckoldry videos that they save on their desktop. I mean husbandry, you know, like livestock, like farm animals. Just don't go touching Dante's computer without his permission. You too can experience the glory that is, you know, now that I think about it, so far from the Uchi games that we have played, right? You can kind of classify each Uchi game as protagonist cringe compilation. All right, 999 is the Junpei last name redacted due to spoilers cringe compilation. Virtue's Last Reward is absolutely 100% Sigma. I don't know. What's his last name? Is his last name also spoiler? I think his last name might also be a spoiler. What the fuck is what the Uchikoshi and fucking making his character's last name's a spoiler? Regardless, right? Sigma last name cringe compilation. Dialed up the fucking Junpei cringe compilation to 11. ZTD doesn't really have like a main protagonist. You can argue it's Diana, but most of the cringe just comes from Sigma again and Junpei. You know what? ZTD is the Sigma Junpei cringe power hour. That's what that is. Also, Carlos is there and he's great. Oh, you know what? Throw in Eric. Eric would be the third cringe boy of that game. Eric, 100% the cringe boy of that game. The new face of cringe, and now we have the Kaname Date cringe compilation. And here's to looking forward to maybe the Mizuki last name redacted due to spoil. Again, he fucking did it again, I just realized. They changed Mizuki's last name and they're like, oh, Mizuki will not be saying her last name because it could be a spoiler for people who have not played fucking the Somnium Files 1. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? I hate this man. I'm excited to read his other games. But breaking news, yes. 999, a decade-old video game, is available on Game Pass. VLR, another probably decade-old video game, is available on Game Pass. The Somnium Files, like 3-year-old game? Came out around the same time as Fire Emblem. Three Houses, so 3-year-old game, all on Game Pass. I wonder why ZTD isn't on there. I mean, I get ZTD is a lot weaker, but I don't know. I still feel like people should have access to the entire trilogy. Just wait until they hide their game titles behind a spoiler warning. I mean, can I work that in? Can I work that? I'm sure I've not read Remember 11, Remember 17, or that series, the older Uchi games. But if that somehow if they somehow work in the title as a spoiler, I would not be shocked. No, VLR and ZTD are just kind of artsy-fartsy names. Nothing spoilery there. But yes, y'all might be wondering, why am I talking about this? Because it's Visual Novel Day, and I love those visual novels. And I saw a video of some robotics lady slapping the ass of her like pole dancer robot, and I was like, this is just the Somnium Files 2. This is just that like sexy eyeball AI and the boss. Fucked up that boss, so maybe, I don't know. We don't know yet. I don't know yet. But I'm really hoping to give boss a new design. I think it's fucked up that women in anime games, once they're over the age of 20, no longer get new designs. Once you're over 20, you no longer get a new design. You just get one design. You're not allowed to age any further. Manuela didn't get a new design in the time skip for Fire Emblem. Fucking boss might not be getting a new design. It could just be other stuff. I'm fucking praying. I'm hoping. You remember the Spider-Man Far From Home trailers all started giving a spoiler warning for Avengers Endgame. Oh, I remember that. To be honest, that's different. That's different, right? Endgame, like, fucking Marvel, like, sure, it's like, oh, here's Iron Man 1, 2, and 3, here's Thor 1, 2, and 3, but, like, the fact they did their whole, like, connected universe shit, it's like, okay, so now we could just look at this as Avengers Movie 1, Avengers Movie 2, the second Avengers movie. These are, like, little fucking, these other movies are, like, footnotes in the Avengers series. And Spider-Man, fucking, especially MCU Spider-Man, that motherfucker could not be any more undivorceable from the MCU. The MCU would make it impossible to divorce MCU Spider-Man from their fucking movies. Whereas the other Spider-Man movies stood on their own just fine. MCU Spider-Man could not be more impossible to stand like as its own thing. You can't go like 10 minutes into one of those movies without being reminded, hey, did you know the Avengers are a thing? Did you know the Avengers are out there? Hey, did you know about Tony Stark? You know about Tony Stark? Now, I don't know about... Well, actually, I do know. I haven't seen it. I've not seen the new Spider-Man. But I mean, fucking Doctor Strange is there. It's a big part of it. So it's like... Can't fucking separate the spider from the mouse, all right? Fucking Michael fucking Mookle's got his goddamn grubby little, got his fucking big old sausagey fingers all around fucking Parker's throat. The biggest villain to Parker. Nobody tell me what fucking happened. I have not seen that movie yet. My friends want to watch it this Sunday. I'm not gonna go to a fucking movie theater. I went to a movie theater once to go see Eternals because my friend invited me, and bitch, I was dressed like a slut. I looked great, but I did not realize how cold. I've even been to a movie theater in like 3-4 years. Okay, even before lockdown, I think like before. Again, Sonic the Hedgehog was the last movie I'd seen in theaters before lockdown. I forgot how fucking cold I get. All right, I was freezing. I had to sit on my goddamn hands. I was freezing so much. I was like, I really want popcorn, but I'm cold. I don't think the Eternals was worth seeing in theaters. Oh my god, that movie was so long and I did not want to get up. Refill my drink and I was just choking on popcorn. It sucked. This is the other Spider-Man properties looking at MCU Spider-Man and how he's not allowed to be his own character. He has to constantly remind you that he's part of a greater universe. Pathetic. If it is obvious, though, I do really love Spider-Man. I grew up not reading a lot. I didn't read comic books. My family did. My uncles did. My uncles and my aunt did. They read a lot of comics. I did not get my hands on any of those. I played a pirated copy of Spider-Man PSX on my Windows fucking XP computer. It was a little white CD that had the Spider-Man PC game burned onto it, and I put like stickers on it and wrote in marker, Spider-Man. That game was fucking great, and I can't fucking believe how difficult it is to get a hold of, unless I want to get the PC version. But I want to play the PS1 version. That's where it's at. Anyways, where was I going? Zero Escape is available on Game Pass. Go fucking play Zero Escape. Of course. Fucking Zero Escape ain't the only, what do you call it? I'm actually kind of shocked. I'm gonna do a quick Google search. I'm really, really shocked and surprised by how many visual novels are just sort of available nowadays. Visual novels on Game Pass. Do they have more, or is it just $9.99? 10 best visual novels on Xbox. Also, I didn't know $9.99 was on Xbox. The year springs. Oh shit, the letters on Xbox? Go play the letter. That game's great. Wow, what the fuck? I'm kind of shocked by how many. Okay, that's a roguelike with like visual novel, like cutscenes. That doesn't count. What else? That one looks neat. Love that art style. I didn't know. Well, when the fuck did $9.99 go to Xbox? Oh well, whatever. Before I move on to the game, I want to mention there are hello, welcome for joining Azrael_1000. Thank you very much. Does Danganronpa count as a visual novel? I've not played it, but I do know Danganronpa as a VN, so yes. Yes, I do. Like, Octopath isn't a fucking visual novel. That's a JRPG. That is a fucking JRPG if I've ever goddamn seen one. Big difference. Big difference. Yeah, it has a lot of reading, but still, big difference. You know what else is a lot of reading to do? The Elden Ring patch notes, because apparently there's a new update today. I assumed it was just bug fixes. Elden Ring, what is added NPC Jar Baron? Added, what is a new, okay, new quest phrases, those are fine. Elden Ring, what is this? Oh, hey, we released a new update. You get an entirely brand new NPC. Is this to like, you know, obviously I'm not far into that game at all. We got like another 35 episodes probably. As long as we can keep it under 50, I'm fine. But like, Elden Ring, Bamco, FromSoft, everything okay? Everything okay? Why new NPC? Is this just to sort of add a little extra to your game? Or is this oops, we kind of forgot an entire NPC. We set the toggle to 0. We forgot to change it to 1 before setting up the final build. Let's just change that toggle to 1. But I think that's really fucking funny. Like, you know what? Someone down the line is gonna be like, hey guys, I found this thing that wasn't here before. It's like, yeah, they added that in the update. That's why it wasn't there before. I'm curious. There's a lot of bug fixes. A lot of bug fixes, a lot of balance changes. I'm not gonna go over this. I just want to bring up the NPC edition, which I think is really fucking funny. I think it's absolutely hilarious. Because on one hand, it could be like, oh, we're just adding extra content. But on the other hand, it's like, these games are usually really like watertight in like the NPCs that they have and the characters and what they do for the overall quest and world. Now, granted, I mean, like, let's be real. It could just be another, I'm going to say mysterious things to you, and then I'm going to cackle at the end. Anyways, here's like 4 items in my shop available. But it said jar. So, could be that. Could be one of them, like, jar pot guys. Could be another Alexander, but I just don't see him being as good as Alexander. As good as our pot friend. Oh, well. You know what? Speaking of friends, though, how about we spend some time with our friends, the Dokis, okay? How about we go see how they're doing in a world in which they don't have to worry about getting dick. In a world where there is no MC, so they don't have to break the laws of the universe to try and get some dick. They can just enjoy each other's company instead. Let's swap on over to that. I've been super fucking eager to finally read this. Why is Pathetic still on screen? I think it's did not expect how much longer it'd take me to read this game when I have to do it like 3 more times. Because it's like, I was like, oh, how long is Doki? I did it all in one sitting. Anyways, I'm super eager. So I thought about going from this backwards, but then I looked into it. I was like, okay, no, it's very much recommended. Start from the top, work your way to the bottom. What I'm most curious about, right, is the length. Like, how fucking long are these? Again, I've been told that these are the length of the main game, but does that mean, like, just reading the main game from beginning to end? That's about 10, 12 hours, depending on your read speed and how distracted you get while reading. Granted, it'll probably be 12 for me because I gotta sit here and talk to you. Hello, Star Jester. Welcome in. Welcome for joining. Good seeing ya. But then it's also like, do we mean, like, one route of the main story, or do we mean going for the good ending of the main story where we gotta do all the other routes? Regardless, how do we pop right into this? Now, there's absolutely 0 choices. This goes from visual novel to kinetic novel, which, for those of you who aren't really familiar with the genre, visual novels are, well, it's still visual in its presentation. Kinetic novels are very different. Kinetic novels are like Higurashi. You get no choices, not that much art, and a whole lot of text on screen. I'm talking like a whole fucking page of a book on the screen versus like 3 sentences in a text box. Now, as far as we don't get that much dialogue, we get a lot of art. A lot of really pretty art that I've unfortunately spoiled myself on, but I don't know what it fucking means. It just means that the girls are cute. Wouldn't that be an otome? Like, no, isn't that different? Oh, and 13 new songs. 13 brand new songs for these side stories, which I'm super eager to get through. First of all, wow, new background. An entirely brand new background. Okay, everyone. There it is. She said the thing. She said the thing, guys. You know, on one hand, I get it. Why make new thing when old thing? But I'm also like, man, I was really hoping the side stories would have the new renders for the characters. You know what? Fuck it. I'm busting them out. I talked about them before. Let me get a PNG. Doki plus renders. Let me show you the new renders for the characters. Can I get like a group shot, please? Can I get a group shot that doesn't crop someone? You know what? Fuck it. We'll just... I'll have this ready. But maybe the first CG will show the new art. I was kind of hoping the new sprites would have the new renders, but honestly, that's more work than necessary. Okay, everyone. The literature club is starting. Let's all have a seat and take attendance, okay? I missed debate club. Who knew it'd be so difficult starting a new club? I feel worse with every day that passed without anyone coming in. I'm really starting to lose confidence. Oh, hey, look at that. We got a narrator. Monica's the only member of the literature club. In the days that have passed, all of her efforts to recruit new members have been fruitless. Am I going about this wrong? Monica glances at one of her flyers. The headline is, "Do you like literature?" Maybe nobody's into literature enough to pick it over their other club interest. I can't just rely on people liking literature. I need to sell them on a vision. A vision. But what kind of vision? Monica rests her head on her desk, deep in thought. But before she realizes it, the recent nights of staying up too late start to catch up to her. Fuck if I feel that. Listen, game, I'm gonna be called out this early into my stream. So quiet, and the noise of the air conditioner so soothing. Hello? Suddenly, a voice causes Monica to snap awake. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I never do this. Is this the napping club? No, this is... Oh, damn, this is a bop is what it is. Monica pauses, suddenly embarrassed to admit that this is, in fact, the literature club. This is a literature club. Yay, I thought I got it wrong for a sec. Now you can tell it's a literature club because I'm dead asleep. Books just do that to you. Good book, knock you the fuck out. I'm super sorry. It was like so unprofessional of me to do that. Don't apologize. I do it all the time. Yeah, on account of her depression. Did I miss a club meeting? Where is everybody? Well, about that. This is everybody. Really? Just you? I see what you did there. But we're getting more members. I'm working really hard on it. Hold on a sec. If it's just you... That means I get to be vice president! Wait, vice president? What are your qualifications? Well, I'm better at napping than you. Maybe I should be president. Now you're just making fun of me. No, I'm sorry. What was your name? Sayori. Okay, Sayori. I've been trying really, really hard on this club. I know you caught me at this weird time, but... It's really disheartening to not be taken seriously, you know? I care so much about this. I just want to find other people who do too. Oh no, I'm sorry. I do care, I promise. I have a hard time being serious, that's all. I didn't mean for it to hurt you. And I was joking about the vice president thing too. I'd make a terrible vice president. I mean, I'm sure that's... Monica tries to say something reassuring, but it's difficult when she still doesn't know much about Sayori. I'm sorry that this isn't like a real club yet. Would you still be interested in joining after I found a few more members at least? Well, no. I want to join now. Really? Yeah, it sounds like a lot of fun. Besides, I can tell how hard you've been working. You're doing something amazing, and you should be proud of it, you know? So, let me help you turn something stressful into something fun. If nothing else, I'm good at that, so... Honestly, how can I possibly say no to that? That's really sweet of you, Sayori. Oh, I'm Monica, by the way. Monica, that's such a cool name. No, now you're just trying to cheer me up. But you're smiling. Well, I didn't say it didn't work. Monica glances at the flyer on her desk and realizes that her name is already written on it. So, what do we do first? Well, it's getting pretty late, isn't it? We can go home and try to come up with some new ideas to recruit club members. I can do that. Cool. And I think I need to put some more thought into my vision for the club. You know, like a mission. My mission's to make everyone happy. Yeah, something like that. I need to think about it. Hey, do you like hugs? I guess so. Sayori suddenly pulls Monica into a friendly hug, then lets go. Some people can just really use a hug sometimes. Besides, Sayori whispers loudly. That's not a whisper then? Hug energy is what keeps me at my best. Hug energy, huh? Monica laughs. Although Sayori is very different from her, Monica feels her spirits lifted. Maybe it's just because she finally found another club member. But, well, I'm looking forward to tomorrow then. It'll be fun. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm gonna think really hard tonight about how to get more people. Yeah, me too. A day passes and the time comes for the literature club. Monica and Sayori to reconvene. As president, Monica ensures that she's the first to arrive at the club room. But she finds herself waiting longer than expected for Sayori. It's been 10 minutes already. Y'all fucking bitches waiting for me to go live, and I'm just sitting there like fucking tied up in my like phone charger wire and shit. Just like, it's been 10 minutes already. Where the hell is Snek? No, that can't be it. She was so excited yesterday. But I'm getting kind of worried. Listen, 8:30 is more of a suggestion rather than like a hard written rule. You know what? In the words of Travis Touchdown, all right? It's called being fashionably late, fuckface. Suddenly, Sayori comes bounding through the door. In her hand, she's holding a sheet of paper. Sorry I'm late. I'm here. It's okay. Welcome back. And Sayori spins over to Monica and deposits the sheet onto Monica's desk. Oh, what's this? Take my hand. Take my hand. Take me forward. Take me to your dreamland. Caution me to watch my step so I can't look bad at my footprints. Climb the stairs ahead of me while I look up to you. The more I look forward, the more I look up, the more I can lend to you. If you can trust me to follow your pace, I'll trust you to set it. If you can trust me to lend you a smile, I'll trust you to return it. Take my hand, take me forward, take me to your dreamland. Why? Hold on. Give me a second, Ocean man, take me by the hand, lead me to the land that you understand. Ocean man, the voyage to the corner of the globe is a real trip. Ocean man, the crust of a tan man embedded by the sand, soaking up the thirst of the land. Ocean man, can you see through the wonder of amazement at Obermann? Ocean man, the crust is elusive when it casts force to the childlike man. Ocean man, the sequence of a life form braised in the sand, soaking up the thirst of the land. Ocean man, ocean man, ocean man. She really write Ocean Man? I'm sorry, I just, the entire time reading this, every time I see take me to your dreamland, I'm just like, Ocean Man. Hey, this is really good. You wrote this, Sayori? Of course. Wait, no, that's the wrong side of the paper. Huh? I wasn't ready to share that yet. I'm so embarrassed. Monica flips the paper. Written on the other side is a list of ideas for recruiting new club members. Oh, so this is what you meant to show me. I mean, like, I understand, you know, saving paper, but you knew what you were doing. But I'm curious, do you write poetry often? I do, but I'm sure I'm not anywhere near as good as you are. Really? I'm actually terrible at writing poetry. I've never written anything I was happy with. Thank you for the hydrate, Star Jester. Like, I always read it again after a week after I write it, and I'm like, wow, this is stupid. I don't know. It's like the dramatic version of me doesn't agree with the person I want myself to be, or something like that. Aw, you should have more confidence in yourself. You're the literature club president. Guess you're not wrong there. Hey, Malku, welcome in. Welcome for joining. And Gangster Boy has redeemed another pathetic. This is Monica looking at her poems a week after writing them. Pathetic. Thanks for the redeem. So welcome in. Welcome for joining, Malku. Are the girls going to be happy? I pray so. I hope so. This is all before penis is ever written into the story, so I think we're good. I need to, like, set a good example or whatever. You know, I can envision the club doing something like that. Doing what? You know, like sharing poems you write and stuff like that. I actually didn't see your message. I'm gonna go back up and read it. Okay, fashionably light without fashion. Wow, bitch. I'm not gonna take that from someone who's probably sitting there in a t-shirt and jeans. Fucking cargo shorts, probably wearing ass. I ain't taking that from someone like that. Nice drip. Where'd you get it? The fucking Kohl's mannequin? Clearance mannequin? Anyways, yeah, welcome in, Malku. I pray that the girls are happy. Wow, you have a suit in your closet. I'm not asking about what's in your closet. I'm not asking about the dusty threads of your closet. I'm saying what you got on now. You have a Snuggie. Then I will not hear about drip then. You know, I like sharing stories we write and stuff like that. Not a goddamn accessory in sight. Star Jester really said, I'm in your walls. love that. It's such a good way to learn about other people, you know? It's like, we have so many emotions we can't express to other people usually. But you can when it's a poem, right? Yeah. I think that's helping me form a more cohesive version of the club. Vision for the club. So, I'm glad you showed me. Well, even though it was by accident. Me too. I felt embarrassed at first, but now it feels kind of good that someone else read it. I'll try to show you more of them in the future. I'd love that. Oh, geez, I'm getting distracted. Do you want to go over this recruitment brainstorm together? My brainstormed so hard. It was like a brain hurricane. My brain is a natural disaster. Sayori, that's terrible. Anyway, let's take a look at the list. Make cupcakes. I was hungry. But it's a good idea, isn't it? Let me think about this. I mean, when do we have the chance to give people cupcakes? You know, like when they come into the club. What if we said we had free cupcakes on the flyers? I'm like kind of worried that would bring in the wrong kinds of people, you know? Wrong kinds? People would just come for the cupcakes and then leave. It's true. I don't know about how many of y'all had these sorts of clubs in your school that had like free food, but absolutely 100%, if a club was doing a free food day, they saw a huge rise in people for the food, then they would leave and never show up again. Fucking aunt joined the LGBTQ club, or whatever the fuck it was called. The Gay Straight Alliance Club, I think is what it was called back in the day, because they had free pizza, never again. Micro hate crimes, okay? Micro hate crimes. Keep them small, so you keep them guessing. Did I ever join a club for free food? Or visit a club? I really, really highly considered joining the fucking cheese club. Cause, call me fucking Wallace, but I love cheese, Gromit. Gromit, do you think they'll have cheese at the cheese club? But, considered it. I definitely fucking love the, what are they called? My school used to have these events in which the clubs would, you know, be out into, you'd be out in this big open field in our school, and the clubs would just sort of be serving food and serving stuff and doing activities, and it was a lot of fun. You'd take days off from class just to go over there. It was great. It was rad as fuck. Just hang out with your friends, your partners, whoever, meet some new people, get some grub. It was real nice. All I fucking hated, you had to exchange real money for these tickets and take those tickets to the clubs. It's like, no, let me give my money directly to the club, please. But do I look like I got fucking... God damn. It's always the worst when you forget it's happening, you don't bring any cash. Still though, I really considered the cheese club. I was like, how often are they eating cheese? And I went, then I looked at it, I was like, I don't like any of you in there. Never mind. I don't wanna go through the hassle of playing nice with y'all. I don't need a club. I'm going home early. I didn't even take a fourth period, all right? I'm just going straight home. I'm going home at 1. Let's see. Think you see in the corner if they could. With it, who the fuck are you talking about? Hold on. They aren't even at the school, but they came to get food. Is that a thing that's happening at your school? Usually it's a sort of, very much inside the school is what happening. I can say that happening, though. You're once in the gaming club. Y'all at a fucking gaming club? What the hell is a gaming club? What do you do with a gaming club? You were in a cooking club. How'd that work out for you? I can't. Either I just didn't pay attention to it, or we just didn't have a whole wide variety. Clubs I remember off the top of my head were... We had a... Well, obviously we had the fucking cheese club. I think the reason I didn't join cheese club is because cheese was actually like, oh, we don't know, it's not actually about cheese, it's about something else. And I went, I don't care then. I'm only here for the meal. I'm here for the grub. I don't care. It was like a cheese club. There was obviously the anime club. Knew a whole bunch of fuckers in that thing. It was some music club. Obviously, every fucking school has their debate club. I think there was a chess club too. Whatever there was, I don't remember. I think there being like a Spanish club or like something about like a second language. But very obviously the fucking club with a lot of Spanish members sold fucking, you know, Hispanic food, which, you know what? Great, love that. Got a little piece of home at this white kid school that I went to. I felt so out of place at the high school I went to. It was miles out from where I lived. And just everywhere I went, you know that meme of Lord Farquaad? White. That was me. Walk through the doors, white. You have knowledge of how to bake now. Nice, bake some cupcakes. Your mother couldn't pick you up, so it was short-lived. RIP. You just sat and played video games, like dueling. Like Yu-Gi-Oh? Oh, duel with swords. What the fuck? What are you guys doing with swords? Nah, never mind. I'm gonna keep it real. How many fucking gamer boys do we... Everyone knows at least 1 or 2 gamer boys who, like, goes out of the way to, like, buy those, like, mall fake swords that they find. Or they'll go to those, like... Tokyo lifestyle shops that have like the swords in the back, and they'll like show up like, check out my Zelda Master Sword replica, I say, as if I don't have a fucking scaled keyblade hanging on my wall. In all fairness though, that was a gift from a friend, all right? She bought it, not me. I used that keyblade to scare away to hopefully scare away an intruder, but now it's fine because I have a machete under my bed instead. After the possible home intruder event, I've now gifted, I've now upgraded my keyblade to just a fucking machete. I've gone from fucking the Sora gift of friendship to fucking Jason Voorhees gift of I'm gonna fuck someone up should they break into my home. Anyways, let's get back into this. People just come for the cupcakes and then leave. Aw, nobody would do that. That'd be mean. But, you know, I want to find people who are really into literature, even if they don't know it yet. Let's see, the next thing on the list? Hunt for people reading books. I don't think I get it. Like, going around the school and finding people who are reading books, you know? Like, in the morning or during lunch, and we can tell them check out the literature club. Well, the problem with that is, like, wouldn't most people reading books just be doing it for an assignment or something? How do we know if they're just reading for fun? Well, we can ask them. But then we'd be bothering people who are trying to do schoolwork. I didn't think about that part, sorry. Hey, don't apologize. You're coming up with a lot more things than I can. Oh, your next idea is to hand out flyers rather than just put them up on the wall? I'd definitely like to start doing that. I'm useful. I never said you weren't. I just need to think, what would we tell people when we're handing them out? I don't want to just be like, join the literature club. Let's figure out how we can better engage people. What if you tell them about club activities and stuff? What club activities? Think with a hydrate. Yeah, I guess it's supposed to be my job to come up with that, right? A vision for the club? Okay, Sayori, pretend you're a normal person for a second. Wait, I didn't mean it like that. You know, like a random passerby who's getting a flyer. How would you react to the idea of a literature club? Probably like, literature is stupid. Joining the anime club. What the heck? Sorry, I was just thinking of a friend of mine. Okay, what if I said that we, like, do group readings and discuss it together? I'd probably nap through that. That's you, Sayori. Yeah, but that doesn't really sound like fun to most people anyway. We need to really catch their interest, you know? Ugh, this sucks. Why is this so hard? Monica, don't be sad. What do you like about literature, Sayori? Me? Well, kind of what I said about the poem earlier. I think it gives you a chance to express yourself. Like, express yourself in ways you can't normally do when you're just doing your normal day and talking to your friends. I mean, we have so many thoughts and feelings that we just don't get to share, you know? It's like, intimate. Yeah. How do we get that across to people? We could be like, express your true self, be intimate with us. Okay, that's kind of... I'm just kidding. Oh my gosh. What? What is it? I forgot all of my things in my classroom. I must have gotten too excited and rushed over here. Silly me. Rushed? But weren't you? Never mind. Do you want to go get your stuff then? I'll forget if I don't do it now. Well, I'll wait for you then. Okay, it'll only take a second. Sayori dashes out of the room, leaving Monica momentarily alone. Monica sighs and starts jotting her thoughts on a sheet of paper. Express yourself. Be who you want to be. Make new friends. Discover a new you. Discover your heart. No. Write your heart out. No. Write into your heart? Write the way into your heart. Join the literature club. Write the way into your heart. Wow, that's lame. Monica, you startled me. Sorry, but it's something super important. On the way to my classroom, there was a girl reading a book. Reading a book? Let's hurry and recruit her. Wait, are you sure she's not just doing homework? I could tell she was really into it. Well, I guess we could take a look. Monica grabs one of her flyers and stands up from her desk. Then the two depart the classroom with Sayori leading the way. Hey, welcome back, you two. Oh, never mind. Star gesture, I didn't even real. I read yours as hi, I'm back as well. Never mind, welcome back, Jelly Bucket. No, this is Patrick. This way. You don't have to run. Sayori leads Monica over to the particular classroom and lowers her voice to a whisper. Another hydrate already? Goddamn, well, thanks anyways. See, in here. Monica peers through the window. Gee. Sure enough, there's a girl sitting alone, intently reading a book. I feel like a creep doing this. You should go inside and talk to her. Me? You're the president, and I'd probably scare her away. Okay, fine. I'll do it. Monica takes a deep breath, then timidly enters the classroom. That was fast. Oh my gosh, I'm so embarrassed. Why? What happened? Well, I entered the classroom and she didn't even look up from her book. So I kind of just left the flyer on her desk and walked out. That's kind of cute. But I'm sure she'll find it. I'm sure she'll see and want to join the club. I hope so. Shall we head back now? The two head back to the club room, Sayori feeling rather accomplished, and Monica still feeling a bit embarrassed by the encounter. Have we seen what happens after the protagonist tells Sayori about friendship and or love? Like, if the protagonist tells Sayori that they love her? Yeah, that was in our last stream. That's how we ended 2 weeks ago. What part are we on? Part 6? That's part 6, right? Yes, all right. That's the ending of part 4. If you want to see how that goes, go watch the VOD for part 4. Now, but we're reading all the pre-story stuff, right? And that takes place before the events of Doki Doki. Everything before Penis was written into the story. The stuff I actually want to read, not the fucking hey, ooh, we're just a totally normal fucking visual novel with routes for all the girls. Psych, we're spooky. Not that I hated it. I did really enjoy the original story, but like, I'm here for the new stuff now. I just want to see the characters being characters and interacting with one another instead of fighting amongst one another for the MC. Upon returning, Monica and Sayori resume their strategy meeting. They discuss various different kinds of recruitment tactics from professional to silly. But yeah, you don't have to worry about the main story at all. Literally everything that takes place in the main story has not, and honestly probably will not happen in what we're reading. And that I mean, like, everything that's happened there, not gonna happen. This is all before that, and could technically be its own, like, continuity. After going through Sayori's list, and with Monica coming up with ideas of her own, the two end up in a better spot than from where they began. Well, I'd say today was pretty productive, wasn't it? Yeah. think we're starting to make progress. Yes, we are officially in the plus territory now. I can't wait to get some new members. Hey, what's this? So it appears that a sheet of paper Monica was jotting on earlier. Oh, don't mind it. I was just thinking to myself. Joining the literature club right the way into your heart? That's so cute. I thought it was a little overdramatic, but Saori pauses and thinks for a moment. You know, I don't think you give yourself enough credit. What do you mean? Like, I don't know. I feel like I can tell from talking to you today. It seems like you're always afraid of doing something wrong. Yeah, but would you call yourself a perfectionist? Yeah, I definitely am. I mean, I always have an idea in my head of how I want things to go, and it's like I can't accept anything less than that. But I think in the end it helps me try my hardest at everything, so I don't think it's that bad. Like, with this club, we have such an opportunity to make it into exactly how we envision it, but it feels like we only have one shot at it. So I'm just really afraid of deviating from that vision. What's the vision? It's... Monica pauses to think, then shakes her head to herself. She sighs. I don't know. I just want everyone to... Monica trails off. Smiling, Saori taps her finger against a sheet of paper. Right the way into your heart? I think that's what you're trying to do. Is to make the club that you need the most out of anyone. Well, you're the one who knows yourself best, of course, but I'm here to help you. Monica returns Sayori's smile. It's sort of amazing how kind you are. We're really gonna make this the best club ever. Sayori nods, and the two remain silent for a moment, lost in thought. The only sound is a steady whisper of the air conditioner. The only movement is the afternoon sunlight trickling its way in and out of the moving clouds. Sayori breaks a moment with a big yawn. Time to go home? You tell me. You're the president. In that case, today's meeting is officially over. I look forward to tomorrow. Me too. Sayori beams and grabs her things. You can go on ahead. I need a few minutes still. No, I can wait. That's all right. I just want some alone time. In that case, Sayori enthusiastically waves at Monica. Good luck. Monica smiles and waves in return as Sayori spins her way out of the club room. All alone, she sighs to herself and takes a minute to zone out. She wasn't prepared for the self-reflection encouraged by Sayori, but she decides it was something she probably needed right about now. The club that I need most. I don't get it. I just wanted to start a club with more passion. Something that I could use to help lead people to happiness. Literature is the key to that. Because it's the window to the real person inside of us. Underneath the person who's forced to always smile, blend in, the person who's forced to be perfect. Monica suddenly notices a folder on the floor by her desk. Did Sayori leave this behind? I hope it doesn't have her homework in it. Worried, Monica opens the folder to check. Poems. It's a folder of poems. Become the flower. A feeling of joy is a flower plucked from the ground. The color, the scent, it's so pretty in my hair. Every day I pluck some flowers as though they grew just for me. A lifetime of peace and nourishment, yanked away in an instant. All for me, all for joy. I need more. I need more joy. I need more happy. Pluck, pluck, pluck every day. Pluck, pluck, pluck. So pretty in my hair. Pluck, pluck, pluck. You're going to die, and you too. Beneath my feet, a flower stands alone. It beckons to me. I twist the stem, freeing it from its clinging roots, caressing the final joyous moment between my fingers. But to what ends? I look in every direction. The field I stand in, the prosperous field, is a barren wasteland. The fruits of my labor, the carnage of my joy. And that's why I've decided I must become the flower. What the? Wait, Sayori? Oh, that was really short, actually. We got some new mail too. From Eve, new pictures, some new music. What is the new song? Oh, here it is, Dusk. You know nothing about Plus, but you assume Natsuki's still the best written character. Natsuki ain't here, sorry. Character development's going to the others. Yeah, Monika's new render. Okay, all right, here we go. I don't know, I just really, oh, look at that. I didn't know we got, finished side story 1. Yeah, look at that. I love the new renders, right? Like, here's Sayori, really cute, but something about that new render is adorable. And like, here's Monika's old render. What was it, 2018, 2019? And here's her 2021 render. So cute. Also, she looks a little chubbier, or at least far less skinny than she was before. And I love that. Love the new renders. Like, goddamn, art glow up. Not to say that the old renders were bad, but they just got better, and I really love this. No. You might be thinking Undertale. Undertale's 2015. I remember that. Doki had to have been like 2018. It's actually not as old as you'd think. Maybe? Oh, shit, you might be right. Okay. Doki, release date. 2017. We were both off. It was September 22nd, 2017. Which, you know what? That's closer to 2018, so I win. And then we have 2 new poems. And no new CGs. We got a new background, though. Literature Club classroom, softly lit by the morning sun. What happened to my music? Candy Hearts by Jason Hayes. I don't remember this. Oh, I'm gonna look at my mail. Let's see. Ray of Vorte, side stories. Let's see. Thank you to everyone who worked so hard on the control simulation. I can't imagine how tedious it must have been to so delicately hide Monika's elevated permissions from her without disrupting our connection to the VM. Just to clarify, all of the recordings labeled side stories are part of the controlled simulation, right? I'm noticing some details of the characters' lives here and there that differ a little bit from those in VM1, which is Virtual Machine. Even trial ones. Is it part of the butterfly effect and some of Monika's more fundamental changes? Or is it a result of her just messing around with the other characters in VM1 as their own experiment or for fun? So if I'm keeping track, we have what? Like 5 different universes in total? With 3 or 4 of them created and then destroyed by Monika, of course? It's funny because I keep wanting to speculate on which one is the real universe. But in reality, they all are. As real as ours are anyways. From Metaverse on Enterprise Solutions, Rhea Vorte. God damn, now we got a Rhea in this game too? System Administrator. So it looks like... Can I read that again? Can't imagine how tedious it must have been to so delicately hide Monika's elevated permissions from her without disrupting connection to the VM. Yeah, but Metaverse has already sort of existed as its own thing. It's just the fucking Zuck trying to capitalize on like the new, like on our current generation's kind of, let's face it, addiction and need of online whatever. Facebook is a dying brand, so rebrand to Metaverse. Suddenly there's this hot new shit, right? Not like it matters. I hope it fails super hard for them. Let's be real, it will. Right? With each boomer that fucking... With each fucking boomer that's not wearing their mask and fucking... Or aging out. Getting old. They're getting less and less people on Facebook. Facebook is pushing so fucking hard to get you to use it again. I still have it on my phone because it's unfortunately connected to a few other apps because I was lazy when I was younger. So now it's stuck to Facebook and I'm lazy now and I don't want to swap into something else, although I really should. But it's like, you have 5 new notifications. You have 7 new notifications. Like, I don't give a fuck. Go ahead, let them pile on. Unless I get a direct, like, message on Messenger, I ain't checking that shit. But, again, hell, this shit, right? This company in-game being called Metaverse. Way before Zuck tried doing his own thing with it. Metaverse was a name for, like, a different online MMO thing way back when. It's just Zuck thinking his hot shit. Just like how he's trying to kick people out of, like, their native... How he's trying to kick natives out of their homes in Hawaii because he doesn't want people on his island, even though he only owns a part of the island. The same thing as him. He wants to own the brand Metaverse. I need someone... Every time Zuck is being interviewed, I need someone to ask him, so why do you hate natives so much? Why do you hate other people? And why are you trying to kick natives off their island, even though you absolutely don't even live or spend much time on this island, you rancid piece of human trash swine? Every time Zuck posts anything online, we gotta start asking him questions. Really uncomfortable shit he's gotta answer, probably block you for. I am advocating to harass millionaires. Let's see. Game. Saves. There's my broken save. Characters. Internal. Let's see. I really gotta take notes of where all this... You know what? Fuck this. I'm Googling this. Doki plus special file locations. Files. I want to see if anything changed with the files. If any of them are accessible now. Meeting notes 2. Are you kidding me? Oh my god, it's not as easy as... You gotta be fucking with me. Alright, we'll do all this by the end, but I'm seeing how to open and view some of these files. That's fucked up. Alright, I'll do that later. But what I will do is that I'll read Trust Part 2. Listen, I already put a long timer on that hydrate. If you're going to give me that attitude, I'll put an even longer timer. Another day passes in a flash. It's already time for the next club meeting. Although Monica should have come up with a plan for today's task, she hasn't been able to shake her guilt and anxiety after reading Sayori's poem. I'm so stupid. How did I let myself be the center of attention? Sayori's going through these kinds of feelings, and I'm letting her comfort me instead of the other way around? What kind of a club president does that? This whole time, I didn't think to ask about her own feelings. So much for this stupid vision. Sayori enters a club room with her usual smile. But upon seeing the downcast Monica, her smile quickly fades to an expression of concern. Monica? Is everything okay? I'm really sorry. I'm a terrible friend. Huh? What are you talking about? You're an amazing friend. Monica shakes her head. I made this all about myself. Everything you said, so oh, wait, fuck. I misread that and I hit skip. Even you said so yesterday. You told me that I'm trying to make the club that I need most, right? But my problems are so trivial compared to yours. Sayori quickly responds quietly. What are you talking about? But as she says that, her face darkens. Through the silence, Sayori mutters her realization. I left my folder here. Monica stares blankly ahead, unable to come up with a response. I wasn't ready to share those. Now you're worrying about me. I don't want that. But why? We're friends, right? Wordlessly, Sayori nods. Friends look out for each other. I want to be here for you as much as you're here for me. Another long moment passes in silence. The air is incredibly heavy. Welcome in. Welcome for joining. Thank you so much for the follow, Kyato_. Happy to have you. Are we not doing a bit? Are we not doing a bit? Kept wondering why you didn't see me live. I thought we were doing a bit. Like, damn, they're so late. I was like 4 minutes late. Okay? When you called me out, I was like 4 minutes at most, all right? I already hit go live when I said I'm always late. I just thought that you like to lurk and keep it secret. I just thought that you like to be sneaky. Up until you admitted that you're not very sneaky. And that you usually got me going on the background. I'm an hour late, motherfucker. What did I say at the beginning of the stream? In the words of Travis Touchdown, all right? It's called being fashionably late, fuckface. But hey, welcome in. Welcome for joining. Oh my god, you and your 2 monitors and your bidet. Ugh, god, I'm never gonna get the end of it once you get an air fryer. But you should. Air fryers are real neat. Excited to see. Okay. I just kind of assumed you were here the whole time. I just assumed that you know when I go up and you just keep me up in secret. I didn't even realize you weren't following this entire time. But welcome in. Welcome for joining. I'm doing the side stories. We've completely beaten the main game. Since you weren't actually just secretly lurking in the background while playing your video games. The air is incredibly heavy. Don't you lecture me with your $30 outfit. Oh wait, I can do the bit properly now. I can do the $30 haircut bit properly because I have the sound. Don't you lecture me with your $30 haircut. Okay, now let's get back to this. This is really serious. This is actually... I didn't expect the first story to get into this territory so soon. This is different. It wasn't just about you yesterday. It was about the club. Besides, things were so happy yesterday. You don't need to do this all of a sudden. I don't want it. I like happy. So let me catch you up. We're doing the side stories, which is like all the, a bunch of events that happened prior to the game, like the main game. And it looks like the side stories are also tied into like a sort of meta game with the desktop computer and hinting at other things. If it's hinting at what I'm hoping for, I'm excited to maybe see Monica and or characters with the same name in whatever other fucking game is coming next from this team. But this is literally like the very, like prequel stories. And this is the very beginning of that prequel in which Monica has started the club and she's all alone. But suddenly Sayori shows up and joins the club, and now they're working together to try and come up with ways to get more people to join the club. But as they come up with ideas, it starts to get late. Sayori goes home, but leaves a folder of leaves a folder behind in which she keeps a lot of personal poetry to herself. That's sort of, you know, talking about her depression or like poems about her depression, and Monica reads it because she thinks it's homework. She's like, oh, I hope she didn't leave her homework. I should give this to her. And she looks at it, she reads it, realizes that, ooh, Sayori's got it really rough with depression. And now we're having this conversation of her telling her that she left her poem and she read the poem, and how Monica feels bad for, you know, Sayori's there listening to her problems, but she, not once did she realize that she offered a hand to Sayori. But, I mean, like, how is she supposed to know? How can Monica be in the game and the chat at the same time? Because they're 2 different people. There's 2 different people. People can have the same name. All right? Monica's a common name. My boss and the girl on screen are 2 different characters. The Monica-verse. Even if you don't want to look at her profile, all right? Hold on. Look, here. Look, see, different character. That one's got a red bow. This one's got a white bow, okay? Their shades of blonde are different. One's got bangs, the other's got forehead. Hey, girl. So, damn, just found out about your depression. That sucks. All right, let me get back into this. Since when? Since Travis Touchdown and fucking, Scott Travis. Or Travis Scott. Why did I say that backwards? It was so fucking funny. Well, I still remember when Smash Brothers came out with like the Travis DLC outfit for the Mii's, and it was like Smash Brothers X Travis, and it was like, I thought they were talking about Travis Scott. Oh, but then everyone's like, why the fuck would he be in Smash? Oh, whatever. Let's continue. So, if you do this, then you're just being selfish. Monika massages her forehead, stroking through the frustration of such a paradox. It's understandable Sayori isn't ready to share certain things. Also, welcome in and welcome for joining Asterix. I'm just gonna look at the screen now because I do want to take this bit a little seriously. But as unfair as it is for Monika to pry, it's also painful for Monika to force herself to ignore the needs of her friend. I'm sorry I looked. I disrespected your privacy. No, I don't blame you for looking. You would have at least wanted to check if it was mine. Yeah. Monika takes a deep breath. Okay. I understand that you don't want me to worry. And I think I'll be able to put this aside so that we can move on. But can you promise me something? Promise you what? Monika pauses to collect her thoughts. This is the Literature Club. It's a place where people can express themselves in the ways that life normally doesn't allow them to. That's the vision. In fact, it's our vision. Right? The way into your heart or whatever. So I just want you to promise me that you'll remember that too. It doesn't have to be right now, but I want to be here for you when you need it. I want us to be ourselves like that. Sayori smiles gently. I'll promise if you promise. Unable to help it, Monika returns Sayori's smile. I promise. Me too. As the conversation closes, the mood in the room is lifted. With that behind them, it's time to proceed with the club activities. So, want to teach me about poetry? Huh? But what about recruitment? It's fine, we have plenty of time for that. But right now, I feel like I want to do this. I mean, I do have to fulfill my end of the promise, you know? There's no way I can say no to that. Just don't expect much. I do a lot of writing, but it's not like I'm a scholar or anything. That's fine. I think I just need, like, some motivation. I never know where to start when it comes to writing poems. Starting isn't so hard. You kind of just need to write down your feelings and see where it takes you. Yeah, you'll write down a poem, it'll sound exactly like Ocean Man when read aloud. Yeah, but that wouldn't come out any good. It's not supposed to. You have to fight your perfectionist mind on this one. You can just start by writing your feelings and see what kind of things it makes you think of. And then you can turn your feelings into a little story. You can get your feelings down first, then make it sound pretty later. It's not like building a railroad where you go from one end to the other. It's more like a collage where you find all the things you want to put in and then you arrange them in a pretty way. At least, that's how I do it. It's not like it's the only way. But it's a really good way to not get stuck right at the beginning. I understand. Yeah, I always get so caught up in how it sounds that I forget about what's actually important. Monika pulls out a pen and paper to start writing on. Stop being a perfectionist, you idiot. I'm just kidding. Monika scribbles out, you idiot, after she writes it down. No, keep it. What? Why? Are you calling me an idiot? Of course not, but the point is that you're not supposed to police your feelings, right? Be as dramatic as you want. But I was just, well, yeah. Underneath the scribble, Monika rewrites, you idiot. She stares at the paper. Her words stare back at her. It's kind of funny how I wrote down what I'm mad at myself for. Then I did the exact same thing anyway. This is really gonna take some getting used to. I believe in you. Thanks. I do too. Me, I mean. But also you, of course. Monika continues to exercise, jotting down her thoughts. Imagine going to the lit club and someone just reads out Ocean Man. Ocean Man is literature club. Ocean Man is literature, though. Okay, if manga can be literature, Ocean Man is 100% literature. It's surprisingly quite a struggle to write it without overthinking it. But after a while, with Sayori's guidance and encouragement, Monika's sheet of paper begins to look fairly lively, peppered with all of her random thoughts. Whew. Monika looks up and down at her sheet. Gosh, I feel so tense looking at this. I hate it. but it's also kind of liberating. I can tell how hard you're trying to make, or how hard you're trying to. Yeah, God, hold on. Let me take a sip of water and read that again. I can tell how hard you're trying. It makes me happy. I think I'll be good at writing poems. Don't give me too much credit. I have to try really, really hard at it. But another one. That's what? 4? 5 at this point? Hello, hello. Welcome in. Welcome for joining X_just Monica. Hey, look at that. Sound Redeem's working. Welcome in. Welcome for joining. I usually tend to ask people what brings you along. Browsing the recommended, looking for VTubers that come for the game. But I'll be honest, a lot of these Monica names kind of gives it away. I don't even need to click. I see that profile picture. Also, hey, Asterix. Asterix is Swift. Look over here. Look at me. Asterix is Swift. Look over here. Look at me. Bitch. Thanks for the redeem. What tomfoolery is going on tonight? We're talking to our friends about our depression because our friends actually found out that we have depression. They want to be there for us, but also we don't want them to worry about us. So it's sort of created this little conundrum, and it's a little awkward, but you know what? It's okay. We've decided to look past that and just sort of hang out and vibe. And you know what? We'll realize that we'll be here for each other regardless when we are ready for one another. It's a live retell. Yeah, you know what? Actually, yeah, how about that? We'll just go with that. It's a live retelling of Ocean Man. Not a clue what this game is. Okay, if you say so. We're playing Doki Doki Literature Club Plus, specifically the side stories. So if you've heard of that game, if that sounds somewhat familiar to you, ignore that. This is only somewhat related. We're reading a slice of life story about a group of girls starting a club together. And also talking about their feelings, because feelings are important. We should listen to our friends. Is the plus like DLC? Yeah, kind of. It's its own entirely brand new game, but you can get it on Steam or like digital download for 15 bucks, or get the physical if you're a big fan and want that like physical merch. But yeah, it's essentially little side stories that add more to the whatchamacallit. That little extra to the story, a little extra flavor for if you're just a big fan of the characters like I was. If you want to know what the story is like before they ever introduce penis to the cast. But I think it's something I'll really enjoy doing. I'm gonna get back to it if y'all don't mind. With you, Coyote Beams. I'll stop here, but we still have time. Let's try to work on a new flyer for the club. I won't be so picky about the language. Yay, let's do it. Monica and Coyote proceed with their work. With each passing day, the two of them become more confident in the club. Not simply from their recruitment planning, but from their vision as well. As their bond strengthens, so does the essence of the literature club. Finally, they begin to truly feel like it's only a matter of time before they find more members. You know enough to be dangerous about the game, and that's it. You've been meaning to pick it up too and play it. Yeah, pachi. All right. Content warning. I kind of figured we get these, but probably not nearly as bad as the main game. But content warning, if you struggle with this, I would probably tab out for, give it 10 minutes. And even then, just ask in chat, hey, are we done with that scene? And I'll let you know. Otherwise, if you struggle with any of these things, suicidal thoughts, self-hate, and you're just not in the right mindset to listen to a story about this, I would tab out now and truthfully, probably just come back to this another day. I know these side stories tend to go... From what I know about the side stories, they do delve a little deeper into the like themes of some of these characters and what they're dealing with. All right. We're going into it now. Props on them for putting in the warning. Yeah, I turned it on too. It's an option. So if you're totally fine with all that and you're reading it on your own and you think that the warnings might give away what's to come, you can turn that off. But if you're someone who struggles with that, they've added the warnings into the plus version, which is really nice. I wonder if they also patched that into the main game, too. Another day passes. As usual, Monica's the first one to the club room. With her is a printout of the revised literature club flyer, complete with all the new ideas Monica and Sayori came up with. If only this was the flyer we gave to that one girl reading the other day. It's so much more attractive than the older ones. But the new catchphrase is featured clearly in the center of the flyer. Write the way into your heart. Surely common sense would say that one writes from the heart, not into the heart. But the message above is being delivered. But the message being delivered is the one that can use... God damn it. Let me try that again. But the message being delivered is that one can use writing to discover themselves. Hopefully, Monica and Sayori had thought that it'd be enough to garner some curiosity from students. Why do I feel so tense looking at this? Monica thinks back to the previous meeting when she performed the writing exercise. Was I always this bad at expressing myself? How am I supposed to be president if I can't even demonstrate what the club is supposed to be about? The literature club is truly beginning to take form. But with that, the weight of Monica's shoulders only becomes heavier. Debate club was always about rigid structure, formulating airtight points and counterpoints, and delivering them with conviction. It was about the person on the outside. That's why Monica was so good at it. It existed entirely within her realm of comfort. Give me a second. I'm gonna take a sip of water. It's suffocating. I need to break through this mental wall. I need to learn to express myself. For real. Monica pulls out a sheet of paper and grabs her pen. She presses the tip of the pen firmly against the paper. But her hand doesn't move. Instead, a tiny blot of ink collects the tip of her pen. Hey, Jelly Gloop, welcome in. Welcome for joining. You know what, actually? Thank you for reminding me. I'm actually going to completely mute desktop audio. Or, like, alert audio and all that for right now. So, no redeems. Jelly Gloop, if you're just popping in, big content warning. We've gotten to a little heavy part of the side story, so if you struggle with suicide, thoughts of suicide, and self-hate, now would be a time to tab out. Also, welcome in. Welcome for joining. Just throwing that out there. All right. Instead, a tiny bolt of ink collects around the tip of her pen. Monica lifts her pen and stares at the little blotch. For some reason, she feels compelled to run her finger across it. As she does so, the black ink smears across the paper, ruining Monica's canvas. Ugh. Out of spite for herself, Monica presses her pen down once again, letting the ink collect. She creates a second smear on the paper. Come on, Monica. Just move your hand. Monica writes. This is what I get for seeking perfection. A stain. Monica slides the paper away from her and puts her head down the desk. The air conditioner seems louder today. I'm here. Hi. Monica hears Sayori approach her desk, then stops for a second, probably reading the piece of paper. Then she sits down at the adjacent desk. Bad day? Mm-hmm. Me too. You too? The new flyers look good. You've been working so hard. On the club, but also something else, I think. I can't do it. I'm sorry. It's so hard to just be vulnerable. Sayori takes a sheet of paper from Monica's desk. She writes something down, then stares at it for a while. Can I trust you? Of course. You can trust me with anything. Sayori gazes at Monica with sadness in her eyes. Understand the signal. Monica takes the paper from Sayori's desk and reads it. Sometimes I want to die. Sayori? This is really, really hard for me. Her voice shakes. So, if I can do it, then you can too. Because you're like a million times better than me. That's completely not true. Sayori takes a deep breath, trying to steady herself. That's something about me I've never told anyone before. Even now, my head is like screaming at me to stop. Wait, you don't have to force yourself. I mean, just because of the promise yesterday, I want to. It just feels right. I mean, maybe it's part of the reason I came to this club in the first place. This is a literature club. I trust you more than I'm scared. At those words, Monika stands up. Sayori must have taken days to work up the courage for this. Were Monika's own futile but genuine efforts actually the push Sayori needed? Sayori's deliberate breaths can be heard over the air conditioner. As she prepares herself to continue, Monika waits in gentle silence. I have this problem where I get really upset when people worry too much about me. I can't control it. It's like, why waste your energy worrying about me when you can just be happy instead? So I never tell anyone about these kinds of thoughts that I have. It's so much easier to just smile and help everyone else be happy. But that's terrible. That's what Monika wants to say, but she stops herself in fear of saying the wrong thing. It's just that if everyone knew about it, they wouldn't treat me the same anymore. Like, whenever I'm not smiling, everyone would worry about me and ask me what's wrong. I know that because it used to be like that. Sayori pauses, seeming to recall something in the past. I just want everyone to be happy. And that's the most important thing to me. And letting people look inside my head doesn't bring happiness to anyone. Sayori pauses again, her solemn expression making her look almost like an entirely different person. How did you find the courage to tell me this? You're not worried that I'll be one of those people too? I am worried. Part of me really hates myself for doing this. But another part, I think just felt like it'd be different this time. Whenever we talk about what the club is supposed to mean, I keep feeling like it was right for me to do it. Especially after you've been trying so hard to express yourself too. It just made me feel like I could say it in confidence, and our friendship doesn't have to change. It's so silly that the club is only 2 people, but it already means so much to me. Monika feels a tightening sensation in her heart. A feeling of connection as Sayori's emotions radiate between them. Me too. I was so lost until you showed up. You're so brave, Sayori. You're so strong and brave, I don't even compare. Monika steps forward. But if nothing else, I can at least offer you some hug energy, if you'd like. Oh, this is really cute. Wordlessly, and without a smile, Sayori rests her forehead on Monika's shoulder. Through their contact, Monika can almost feel the torrent of thoughts swimming in Sayori's head. In this moment, enchanted by the air of the club, Monika realizes that all the days that have passed, this is the one where she really, really hopes that nobody new walks through the door. She speaks softly. You're like the sweetest girl I've ever met. You can say anything. I'll never judge you. I promise. Sayori's breath begins to quiver. She takes several deep breaths, trying as hard as she can to start speaking, to say the things she never once dared to say out loud. Finally, she speaks in a choked voice. I'm so worthless. I'm worthless, and everyone would be better off without me. She suppresses a sob as tears fall down her cheeks. I'm just an inconvenience to everyone. I'm not good at anything, and it just feels like everyone just has to put up with me, and I hate it. I hate it. The more Sayori speaks, the more she fails to control her voice, falling victim to the overwhelming sadness clutching at her throat and chest. I don't want to have these thoughts. I want them to go away. I'm making you put up with me, and I just want to die. As soon as Sayori loses composure, Monika becomes determined to keep her own. She only wants to be what Sayori needs right now. She won't let any sadness show. Her voice comes through as soft and gentle. This isn't putting up with you. It's just being your friend. Monica offers a few words of comfort, but she knows, Sayori said it herself, that the thoughts Sayori experiences are ones that don't belong. And Monica can't magically make them go away. The most she can do is help Sayori battle them, like any good friend would do. You have so much value. To me, and your other friends too. This club wouldn't have been the same without you. I really, really mean that. You coming here was the best thing that could have ever happened. Even if we never got any other members, I would still be happy. That's what you brought here. You brought us a vision, and you also brought us happiness. And that's your favorite thing to do, right? Sayori doesn't respond, but Monica feels her gently nod. No more words are needed between them. The two share their embraces for a little while longer, Monica letting Sayori take as much time as she needs. Once her breathing steadies and her sniffles fully cease, Sayori lifts her head and wipes her eyes away. Thank you for the hydrate. I guess I needed that. Some days are harder than others. Well, I'm here whenever you need me. But any other time, I'll make sure that things are the way they usually are. If that's what makes you happy. Thanks. You're the best. No, you are. The two exchange smiles. You know, I'm sorry to bring this up all of a sudden, but have you considered talking to a professional? Sayori nods. It's scary. Since it's already so hard to tell people. Yeah, well, of course it'll always be your choice. But if you're ever looking to find the courage for it, I can do my best to help you. Thanks. I think it helps knowing that you would. Sayori suddenly yawns and stretches. Wow, that made me tired. And hungry. Well, I won't make you do any more work today if you're not up for it. No, I want to. I mean, I could say it's definitely one thing that makes me happy. Monica smiles, but I might want to get a snack first. All of a sudden, the sound of the door causes the two of them to turn their heads. Door opens halfway, then stops. A face peeks inside. A face that seems familiar. No, we got some new pictures. No new mail, though. These side stories are really short. I might be able to get through... how many of them? 6? We might do, like, 3, 4 side stories a stream, depending on the length of them all. Let's see. What do we get? Oh, God. I just love the new render so much. The new art is so good. Yep. Is that it? No, we got another background act. We got another concept art. Did we? Did I skip it? I still think it's fucked up how difficult it is to get some of the like promo / secret arts. One of them having like a 1 in 105 chance of spawning. Absolutely rough. That was a really cute side story though. And I am eager to see what the deal is with all the other characters. Any new mail? So we have that, and then we have understanding, respect, balance, reflection, and self-love. I'm kind of eager to start these, but why is it RNG? Lol. It's because the main game, when you get into the horror aspect of it, it's sort of like a lot of the like jump scares or horror events are actually tied to RNG. So you have to get to the first of all, you have to read your way through to the horror side of the game, and then you have to hopefully trigger one of the scares. It's like a lot of it is pretty easy to do. Like if I go to some of my collection, where is it? Like this one. This is in Act 3. Try and press the skip button while she's talking. That one was easy to do. Where is... Here we go. This one, right? Achieve the special ending of the story. This one I had to get the secret good ending. Good ending. Where's the one? One of them is like, sit and listen. Oh, I think it's this one. Here we go. In Act 3, listen to 15 of Monica's dialogues, which she has like at least 2 hours worth of dialogue. They have to sit through and read. So this is a little secret. This is like, pick the word horror for a poem. There's a lot of, and not to mention, right? I've not brought it up. We'll do it soon. But there's a lot of secret files in this like virtual machine. Like if I were to go, where are they located? I gotta do a lot of digging. But there's some secret files that give some like quote unquote lore to the like main game and all the horror of it. How do I like the virtual machine versus when I did it on desktop? I think as a streamer, the virtual machine is really nice. Because again, for starters, right? I can just go in and change my wallpaper whenever. So I just go ahead and pick a random piece of art and boom. New wallpaper, so it's really cute. I like having the music easily accessible in this little menu with its own little custom art and stuff. And then, again, the virtual machine, I can just click this, jump right into the game, jump to side stories. This, I don't feel as worried about accidentally clicking something I'm not supposed to because it's all built into the game. And so I'm like, okay, I feel more encouraged to like look through stuff. And again, I can just put on music in the background. I feel like encouraged to constantly like click through things and explore and look around versus being too afraid to like accidentally fuck something up. So like here, like I always checked back because it's a lot easier to capture this and check back. Like here is when Monica first started gaining sentience, right? You can see her little dialogue there. Oh geez, I didn't break anything, did I? Hold on a second. I could probably fix this, I think. And then what I'm really curious about is how they handle the mail. If you were to buy the PC version of this, how does the mail work? Because like here, I'll read this again. Thank you to everyone who worked so hard on the controlled simulation. I can't imagine how tedious it must have been to so delicately hide Monica's elevated permissions from her without disrupting our connection to the virtual machine. Just to clarify, all of the recordings labeled side stories are part of the control simulation, right? I'm noticing some details of the characters' lives here and there that differ a bit from those in Virtual Machine 1, even trivial ones. Is it part of the butterfly effect of some of Monica's more fundamental changes? Or is it a result of her messing around with other characters in VM1 as her own experiment or for fun? So if I'm keeping track, we have like, what, 5 different universes in total with 3 or 4 of them created and then destroyed by Monica? Of course, it's funny because I keep wanting to speculate on which one is the real universe, but in reality, they all are. As real as ours are anyways. Please no, yeah, plus no dox risk compared to normal. I was so fucking worried. I was like, when we get to the bit where she reads your real name, how are they gonna handle that? And here, she just read my Twitch name. She read Goodnight Snek versus whatever my desktop is labeled as, which, you know what? Y'all, even if you were to go back to the old one, you're not gonna get my real name because my desktop is under my close friend's name. I took my desktop to go get repaired at her job, and they put it under her name. So now whenever I log in, it's welcoming her, not me. I don't get shit in my own house. You gotta leave? For sure, for sure. Thanks for popping in. Yeah, you did miss Act 2 and 3. We did all that last week so that we can do the rest of it. Do nothing but side stories for the rest. And then before we start understanding, I'm actually gonna take a little break. I'm drinking a lot more water because it's a lot more reading than talking. So if you guys want to go ahead and go drop a save of your own, go get some snacks, get some more water yourself, maybe brew some tea, because coming up, I think I'm gonna have a lot of tea in the upcoming chapter. Yeah, my real name is Goodnight Snek, so the PS5 is right, even though I had a hyphen like Spider-Man. Y'all been getting it wrong this whole time. It's Goodnight hyphen Snek, all right? Like Spider hyphen Man. Oh my god, you had your computer labeled Star Gisters? Fucking horrible. All right, I'm gonna take a little break. I'll see y'all in a minute. BRB. Hey, we're back. Welcome, welcome. I went to go get more water, but I didn't want to go refill my giant water bottle thing because there's still plenty of water in there, but I'm more than positive I'm gonna run out by the end of today's stream. It's been getting real dry today, so I'm just been fucking chugging away. And I went to go get another water, and I didn't fucking realize that my family had bought these tiny ass baby water bottles. Like, you stack 2 of them, and they're about the size of a regular water bottle, like little palm-sized little bitch baby water bottles. But I can chug an entire thing in one go. I mean, I can't do that with a regular water bottle anyways, but I mean, like, one sip, I feel like it'd be gone. Like the tiniest water bottle I've ever seen. You guys ever seen that picture of, it's Shaq drinking a water bottle is what I feel like drinking these little baby water bottles. And he holds it with like 2 fingers. It's so tiny looking in his hand. I would highly recommend looking that up. I love that picture. Just a little sip. You've had baby milk jugs. Baby milk jug? Like little tiny little milk jugs? But why is it still shaped like a milk jug, right? I think of like milk in small packages. I think of like the little cardboard little milks they give you at like schools, right? Why was it a little jug? It's camp. It's camp. All right, you know what? Fine, that's your answer for everything. It's camp. All right, well, let's get right into this. Off to understanding. Begin side story. I can't believe I almost considered doing this backwards just because Monica's my fave and I wanted the last one I read to be with her. No clue why. Where'd you find it? It was just like at the grocery store? Like what? Oh, you don't know why. Let's see. Well, one of the kittens you have decided to try and crawl into your onesie pocket. It's just, cats want to be places. It's like my dog. Whenever I take her to my mom's house, she just scoots, runs directly under the couch. It's not even like there's a lot of space under the couch. You ever see like a cat just sort of squeeze, really like condense all its bones into liquid just to crawl into somewhere really small? That's what she does. This dog is like part cat. I don't know how she could fit in there. I can't even get my arm in there. She could just squeeze on in, just go through. I remember seeing like a TikTok of someone freaking out because their cat was literally going underneath the door and passed all the way through. My dog does something similar. Thankfully, not to that extent. But this fucking thing, whenever I take her to my mom's house, she just starts crawling under and just right through. Like, the couch is so low to the ground, too. One of these days, right, she's getting fatter, right? She's getting chubbier. And I hope so, because I want her to look like her brother, because I think that'd be cute. But regardless, right, one of these days, she's going to crawl in, and I'm going to have to lift that whole couch because she won't be able to come out. Oh, my God. Remember when Halle Berry did that in the Catwoman movie? I remember that. Catwoman movie, you know what? We came out too soon. The world wasn't ready for it. It's got a game, doesn't it? Club meeting is suddenly interrupted by the sounds of the door, causing Monica and Sayori to turn there. I can't believe I almost read these like backwards from bottom to top. All right, I thought these were like completely disjointed stories. I didn't know they literally just one after the other. The door opens halfway, then stops. A face peeks inside. Face that seems familiar. Sayori's eyes widen, recognizing the girl. She very conspicuously mounts to Monica. It's her! It's the girl! It's true. The girl standing in the doorway is none other than the girl Sayori had come across reading alone in the classroom. Thanks to Monica leaving a flyer on her desk, it seems she's found her way to the club. My favorite bad superhero movie, like, I would say Spider-Man, but no, the Spider-Man movies back then were fucking amazing, all right? Spider-Man 2, peak. Peak, all right? That's as good as it's ever gonna get. But I really enjoyed watching Daredevil a bunch. Daredevil was so fucking goofy fun. Thanks to Monica leaving a flyer on her desk, it seems she's found her way to the club. Are you here for the literature club by any chance? Am I in the wrong place? No, you're not. This is a literature club. Please come inside. The girl fully steps in the door, but continues standing against the wall, avoiding eye contact. Sayori continues to fail containing her excitement. It's happening! Oh my gosh! Thank you so much for coming. Sorry it's a little empty. I'm Monica, and this is Sayori, and we run the literature club, even though it's just us so far. What's your name, by the way? I'd like to join your club. Already? Wait, are you really? Are you sure? I mean, no, that's her name. Her name is I'd like to join your club. It's, foreign. I couldn't think of a fucking place to, I couldn't think of a specific place. I mean, I should be good enough. Well, everyone's welcome here. You don't have to be good enough. Oh, do you want to have a seat? We'd love to get to know you. The girl nods, sliding over to a desk nearby and gently sitting down. So, what's your name? Yuri. I'm Sayori, and this is Monica. Sayori, I already... Nice to meet you. Do you like fantasy? Like books? Yuri looks at Monica. Fantasy's cool. Yes. Have you heard of Annabelle Dupont? I can't say that I have. Oh, well, she's my favorite author. I'm on her 5th book, and it's just... Yuri grins and presses her knuckles against her cheeks in joy. You can borrow my books. I wouldn't mind. You're really in for an incredible experience. I need to look up if that's a real author or if that's like the case with her favorite book. Well, probably actually. Annabelle Dupont. If this gives me... Let's see. Yeah, don't take me to r/game theory. I don't want no Matthew Patthew on here. All right, well, if the first fucking thread is game theory, then I'm gonna go ahead and assume that the author is fake, just like her favorite book. What was it? Can't remember the name of it. Something with like an eyeball on the cover, but it's sort of like a tease for whatever stories the team's got up next. Yeah, I'm assuming her favorite author is also fictional. Like her favorite book. Monica stammers, completely caught off guard by Yuri taking control of the conversation. She glances sideways at Sayori, silently asking for help. I'd love to. It sounds like you're really into them, so they must be great. Thanks for the hydrate. I'm so happy I found this club. Oh, I'm so stupid. I left all my other books in my locker. I should have brought them here. Yuri quickly stands up. That was a complete 180 from the character we're introduced to. I'll be right back. I'll go get them for you. You probably only need to bring one book for now. Sayori nervously says that, noting to herself the considerable heftiness of the book that Yuri set down on her desk. True. Okay, I'll go get the first one then. Yuri exits the club in a flash, leaving Monica and Sayori silently exchanging glances. Oh my god, I wasn't prepared for this. How do I handle someone this intense? I have like no experience with fantasy except maybe stuff that I read when I was a kid, but that's probably a joke compared to what she's into. I'm sure it'll be fine. In fact, I think it's neat that we have different people who are into different kinds of literature. It'll be fun to learn from each other. Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree, but what if this is her only interest? Doesn't it kind of seem like that? Monica, don't you think you should be more optimistic? We have a new club member. There shouldn't be room for anything but being happy. I'm excited to get to know her more, aren't you? Yeah, I guess you're right. I'm sorry for being so hasty. I just got really anxious all of a sudden. It's because you're afraid of not being able to take the lead. What the heck? It's kind of scary I could pinpoint things down like that, Sayori. I just like learning what makes people happy or sad. Yeah. Hey, you know what? You'd probably be great at helping Yuri feel comfortable here. Maybe you could take a break from helping me with the administrative stuff and just focus on spending time with her. Yay, that's exactly what I want to do. Besides, Sayori lowers her voice. I'm probably gonna need all the time I can get. She taps her finger against a dauntingly chunky book that Yuri left sitting on the desk. Right afterwards, the door opens to reveal Yuri's return. I'm back. Her breath is slightly heavy, which, combined with her short time gone, indicates she may have ran at least part of the way. She makes her way back over to Sayori and sets a book down on her desk. Just as Sayori feared, the book Yuri brought for her is about equal in size to the one she already had on Yuri's desk. Well, there are probably a few things you should know before getting started on it. And there's some things that are more explained in other books that take place in the same universe, so going over those would be good to keep it from getting confused at the start. Sayori nervously interjects. Well, I was thinking that maybe today we could just get to know each other a little bit more. You know, I think, like, if we're gonna be read together, then I'd like that. From across the room, Monika smiles and nods at Sayori while Yuri isn't looking. I know it says that she's, like, nodding and smiling, but you know that bit in How to Train Your Dragon where Toothless is looking over at Hiccup and Hiccup's just, like, 2 thumbs up and, like, big smile? That's what I'm imagining from Monika right now. Oh, okay. Yuri sits down, then looks at her book, then glances around the room, showing no indication she has anything more to add. So, what made you want to join the club? Well, I like reading, so I was immediately interested. I had no idea someone was starting a literature club, but that's my fault since I haven't been paying attention to any of the club recruitment advertisements. I only found out because Yuri glances over at Monika. Monika came into my classroom and put the flyer on my desk. Suddenly, Yuri's face darkens. She shakes her head at herself. I was so stupid. I got too nervous I couldn't even look up, so she just walked out. It took me several days to come here because I was afraid that Monika told everyone how inconsiderate I was, but I decided that was probably irrational. Wait. No, that was totally my fault. I felt so bad about interrupting you that I just, like, walked out. I was actually really hoping that you'd come by. Yuri exhales in relief. Whew. I always seem to interpret things as the worst possible scenario. Well, I was really nervous to come here for some reason, too. Such as there being too many people. Not that I mind that much, but I have a really hard time having to meet a large number of new people at once. So it's actually amazing that's just the two of you. I definitely came here at the right time. Aw, it makes me happy. I'm proud of you for working up the courage to come. Yuri smiles warmly to herself. I've never really had the privilege of sharing my interests with others before. It's so hard to find others who are into the same thing I am, except online. So I thought that literature club would provide a chance for me to do that. What kind of things are you into? Like, genres? I don't know, just anything, even if it's not literature. Oh, just things you would think are dumb. Sayori pauses, a look of concern on her face. She wonders if everyone here is into collecting Counter-Strike swords or Counter-Strike Go knives as much as she is. How about... She worries not everyone here is as gamer as she is. They've probably never even platinumed a game in their life. How about I'll tell you about something I'm into, and then you can tell me about something you're into. I suppose that would be okay. Okay. Well, I'm pretty into, like, crafty things, like making cute collages or decorating things like cards or jewelry boxes. My room's always cluttered with random stuff because I keep buying things to make gifts for my friends. But then I put it off to the last minute. So yeah, that's something kind of silly I'm into. You sound quite creative. Not that much. It's just that you'd be surprised how much you can do with scissors and glue and stuff. So, I have to share something that I'm into right now, right? Sayori nods. Well, I guess I'm into nature. I love nature. Monika, I'm gonna start a nature club. No, you're not. You're stuck here with me now. I'm not. Oh, yeah? Well, I hereby appoint you as vice president of the literature club. There. Now you're stuck with me. Don't give me responsibilities. No, I'm sorry, Yuri. I interrupted you. Go ahead. It's fine. Yuri pauses, feeling awkward after having gotten cut off. I like going out to the woods or to the park. Just places where you can walk or sit and not have any people around. It's peaceful. Just nice to kind of remove myself from everything that matters and let my racing mind operate autonomously for a while. When do you like to do that? It just depends on my mood.
after school, on the weekends, whenever I feel like I need it. Wow, I feel like I never would have had time to do something like that. I find that we have a lot more time than we think we do if you don't let it slip through your fingers. The three continue their conversation, led primarily by Sayori, but with Monika chiming in every now and then as well. Monika had intended to leave it to Sayori and focus on her own work, but she found it difficult not to join in. Before they knew it, the end of the day was upon them once more. Oh, it looks like we should be wrapping up for today. So, are you two going to be starting the book in the... God damn it. So, are you two going to be starting on that book next club meeting? That's the plan. I'm so excited. Sayori beams. Yuri collects her things. Once packed, Yuri wordlessly waves to Sayori and Monika with a gentle smile. Bye! As Yuri exits, Sayori enthusiastically returns her farewell. Once again, Sayori and Monika are left in the club room. Sayori, you're a lifesaver. I didn't do anything, I just talked. Still. Besides, it really lifted my mood. It feels really nice when I can put my energy towards other people like that. She was really excited to be included, you know? Made me happy. Well, it's no doubt in my mind that she'll have a great time here with you engaging her. How are you feeling about starting the book with her next meeting? I'm kinda scared, but at least she'll be happy as long as I'm trying my best. I think you'll do great. After the surprise of a new club member, it seems like everyone has their spirits lifted with something new to look forward to. Was that the end of the... Okay. I was like, is that the end of that? That's really short for... But I guess it's only part one of the story. Another school day ends. Swelling her anxiety, Yuri makes her way to the club room, expecting to be the last one to arrive. As she opens the door, she's surprised to find only Sayori in the club room. It's club time again. Monika went to the computer lab, so it's just us today. Is that okay? Yuri silently nods, unable to make eye contact. I'm sorry about yesterday. Sayori tilts her head up, unsure of what Yuri is talking about. Well, I mean, the way I got overly excited to share my books and how you had to stop me so we could talk first. It was so inconsiderate of me. I got too excited and forgot to think about everyone else in the club, so... Yuri, you didn't do anything wrong. I thought it was cute how excited you were. Well, still, I think I changed my mind about the book. We don't have to read it. Huh? Why? Because I know that you were just humoring me anyway. In retrospect, it's rather obvious that no one was truly interested. But if you like it so much, then it must be worth sharing. I've already decided I'll join the club, so you don't have to try so hard to entice me. That's not what I was doing. A moment of uncomfortable silence stretches between the two of them. Well, the thing is, we don't even have any club activities yet. I mean, Monika and I have been working on recruitment stuff mostly. So it just sounded like something fun that we could do together, reading your books. You know, like, as a club activity. That'd be okay, right? Why am I being so resistant to this anyway? It's exactly what I wanted in the first place, and you're being so nice to me about it. I really don't know what's wrong with me. I'm sorry for being like this. You don't have to apologize. Just tell me if there's anything I can do to help you feel more comfortable here. Sayori pulls her desk up against Yuri's and sits next to her. The book in question is already on Yuri's desk. Peering over, Sayori reads the cover of the book. Dusk Bell? Part 1 of the Everlast Saga. It's Dusk Bell by Annabelle. Sorry, I'm ready now. Oh, right. I should probably get some paper. Yuri grabs a spiral notebook of hers and tears out a few sheets of paper. Wait, how come we need paper? Oh, it's useful to draw things out sometimes. Like maps, timelines, family trees, or just for taking notes. Notes? Yes, that's an effective strategy. Exactly. I'm sure it'll be especially helpful for someone new to the genre. Sayori's joke flew completely over Yuri's head. But thinking about it, she decides it's probably for the best that it did. Well, I'm not used to having company through this, but I'll try to help make it as accessible as possible. I trust you. You're like super smart. Oh, please. Yuri tries to dismiss the compliment, but she can't hide her smile and light blush. You can't generalize intelligence. I'm only smart in things that I have a lot of experience with. Contrarily, I'm awful at anything involving real people. That should be evident from the 2 days I've spent here so far. So in my eyes, it's everyone else who comes off as smart. Especially you. No. Sorry, rubs her shoulder against Yuri's. You're such a sweetheart when you're being shy. Anyway, would you like to get started? Okay. Hey, oh Chris. Hello, hello. Welcome in. Welcome for joining, Raiders. How's it going? Hey, oh, welcome, welcome. How we doing today?
Holy shit.
Welcome in. Welcome for joining. I hope y'all are prepared for literature. Get a pen, get some paper. All right. Big books on its way. All right. I'm gonna fucking quiz you on the lore of this land. Yeah, thank you for the emotes, ma'am. Hey, what's poppin'? How's it going? Ooh, playing some Nier Automata, huh? How's that going for you? No spoilers. No spoilers. Say nothing. But do tell me, how's that going? Have you gotten a ending yet? Regardless, welcome in. Welcome for joining. How you like? If it's your first time playing it, how you liking it? Happy to have you. We're doing the side stories for Doki Doki Literature Club, which, if you're unfamiliar, is sort of like new stories that comes with the new version of the game. That's just sort of focused on the Dokis themselves versus, you know, your standard visual novel. You are nameless, faceless protag. Here are girls. Go date them. Go get a route. Just got one ending. Nice. And Nier continues to surprise you at every step. Glad to hear. I'm so fucking excited to finally play that for myself. I picked it up on sale physically a while back, but just haven't gotten around to it. I'm still grieving over Papa Nier. One day, you know what? Fingers crossed, right? You know, fingers crossed. Papa Nier will be canon. Papa Nier, we'll get more Papa Nier content one day. Not counting the DLC in Replicant. But fuck yeah, happy to have you. Let me catch you up real quick. Like I said, it's literally just like a prequel story of everything that's happened prior to the main game. Of the girls all meeting each other. This is Yuri, aka Yurts. Purple hairs, first time in the club. Your computer didn't like you streaming for more than a couple hours. Fucking rip. Was it screaming at you like my laptop's kinda hissing at me right now? Or was it doing a lot more than that? After the minor diversion between them, the two get back on track with their planned activity. Yuri begins to guide Sayori through the basics of the fantasy world her story takes place in. The more of it she details, the races, factions, history, elements of magic, the more questions Sayori seems to have. But despite Sayori's expectations, Yuri eloquently guides her through it in a way such that it's fun to follow along. It becomes evident that the world-building aspect of the story, not just the story itself, is one that Yuri finds her passion leaning towards. Yeah, go download more RAM. You can go download more RAM right now at downloadram.com. Gonna need all the data RAM you can get to stream video games and play them at the same time. Here's a question. While I'm reading this, you guys can think of your answers. How important is world building to a story to you? Okay, so we have general plot, world building, and character. What ranks highest to you? For me, 100% above anything, it's just character. I don't care what the overall plot is, what the main goal, so long as the characters working towards that goal are entertaining. I think characters, then maybe world building, and plot would be the order for me. But truthfully, I think plot, like story and world building, can just be either or, right? Listen, I like the Zero Escape series. I'm not very big. I don't really care too much about world building or plot. I just like seeing the funny characters do their anime jigsaw traps. Oh, the world building is really nice sometimes, especially in the Somnium Files. Peak fiction. Love Somnium Files. Love when a game has strong enough world building that when it references itself, you understand the weight of it all. I dig world building, and especially you coming from Nier. Nier's got some really big world building. But at the end of the day, it's just the characters that I care about. Which is why I'm worried about Automata. I was like, man, Gestalt had good characters. Specifically Papa Nier. Like, I like Replicant, but Bro Nier just doesn't do it for me the way Papa Nier does. And I'm just like, it's a good story, great graphics, good performance. But it just ain't Papa. It just ain't Papa. So I'm hoping I can like 2B, 9S, A2, and 09, I think it is. And however many other characters as well. Here's what it is. It's the bickering old people. I liked Dad Nier and Grimoire Weiss. Truthfully, and then the plot of Nier, for the most part, was go save your daughter. That's as straightforward as it can. The world building was a lot, and it's really cool. And obviously, I want to play Drakengard to see where it all kind of started. But truthfully, I just want to see Dad do his thing. You really like Hades for the world building. I haven't even been paying attention to the world building in Hades and what little I played. I've just been like, I got to Dusa, and I was like, whatever this little thing is, I love her, I adore her, I do not care anything else. Honestly, hey, Sabasa, welcome in, welcome for joining. I really need to get back to it. I've literally only like done 2 things with Dusa, but I really want to play. I've only gotten like 2 conversations out of her. I've just been lazy. Sometimes I'm like, I don't know if I want to do like fast reflexes kind of game. I want to curl up like a shrimp, absolutely destroy my spine, and just relax and play something mindless. But I really want to get back into Hades. But before I do that, maybe I'll get back into the story. How do people come up with this stuff? Me with all the fucking games and their world building that I play. It's like the exact opposite of the kind of writing that I do. What kind of writing? Oh, like poetry and stuff like that. Things I write are just like putting down the feelings that come in my head, you know? But this is like, there must be so much planning and hard work. Huh, you're into poetry? I think there's an appendix that includes some of the kingdom's written works, like poetry and folk songs. No way! Yuri giggles, filling Sayori's heart with happiness when she realized it's the first time she's heard Yuri's laugh. It means Yuri must be having fun. Anyway, I think we can get started reading now if you're ready. Okay, but I can't read very fast. Just to go back real quick to what we were saying, I do think it's a lot really funny. I am really, really into like a lot of this like stories and media with really heavy world building. But if they expect me to read other outside stuff to understand more of the world building, I'm probably not going to get too much of it. At the end of the day, I experience the world through the characters. So whatever they learn is what I learn. Like, boy fucking howdy, do a lot of my favorite series have world building that I can't really tell you a whole lot about because I just don't get it. Oh, that's fine. I'm very patient. Patience is something I pride myself in. I see. Sayori jots down Yuri is patient into her notes. Hey, that's for the book. I'm just kidding, but I'm kind of glad you're patient because I need that sometimes. A lot of times. Sayori flips through the first few pages of the book, getting past the table of contents. Okay, chapter 1. The room becomes silent as the 2 of them begin to read. But the silence only lasts for a few moments before Sayori speaks up again. What does vindicated mean? Well, in this context, it essentially means that he was proven innocent. It's okay to ask questions, right? Of course. Sayori turns the page. Are these footnotes? A lot of the dialogue has cultural references that require explanation to be understood. The 2 continue reading. Yuri's relaxed expression remains unchanged. Meanwhile, Sayori's expression grows tense as she tries to make her way through the dense text. Up until now, their expressions have been reversed, with Sayori easily navigating social situations and Yuri struggling in them. But the tables have turned. Wait, are they talking about the past right now or the present? Where? Right here. They're talking about the past. The paragraphs are describing a flashback that Barnes is having. But they didn't tell me that. It's implied from the context. Sayori rubs her temples. two of them continue with Sayori asking fewer questions. She begins to understand the value in the notes as she finds herself referring to them somewhat often, even adding to them. But her reduction in questions comes not from her getting used to the reading, but rather from her fearing that she'll come across as stupid. At last, Sayori reaches the end of the chapter. I think we can stop here for now. Okay. Sayori takes a deep breath and closes what little of the book she's gotten through so far. So, what are your thoughts up until this point? Sayori tries to find her words. Am I doing well so far? I'm not sure I understand. Well, I don't know. When it takes me so long to read and understand things, it makes me feel really dumb. But I really like how into it you are. It makes me want to keep going and keep doing my best so I can see it the way you do. The relaxation in Yudi's expression fades. I see. Yudi quietly gathers her things. We can continue tomorrow, right? Yudi pauses and shakes her head. We can do something else tomorrow. But I'm sorry. Wait, sorry for what? I don't understand. I'm sorry. I don't want to do this anymore, that's all. I'm sorry that I made you. Yudi leaves. You weren't making me. Sayori is left alone with her words. How did this happen? We're having fun just a second ago. It's my fault. I said something stupid and hurt her. Should've just told her that I enjoyed it. Monica trusted me with this. So I think I'm good at it and I still messed it up. What if she doesn't come back? Drowned in guilt, Sayori stares blankly at her desk, spread with notes. The book sits next to them. Right? If she wasn't coming back, then she wouldn't have left her book here, right? Unless she forgot to take it with her. This is horrible! Was it really because she thought I wasn't enjoying our time together? Or maybe she wasn't enjoying our time together because I'm not good enough? I probably let her down so much by having trouble following along. Yeah, I'm sure if I were smarter, she'd have been so much more fun. She'd have had so much more fun. Oh, shit, I didn't mean to skip that. Hey, new mail, though. New music, too. I do kind of wish I'd told me what song was new. I just kind of have to guess. Probably this one? Now, look, there's Yudi's new render. Finish side story, understanding 1. What else is new? No backgrounds. Probably just that then. TBH. Yep. New side stories. Did I get new mail? Character discrepancy from Lib Musi. Or Musil. Is that an I or an L? That's an I. From Lib Musi to Untitled Mail Group. Do not use. Date, December 7th, 2019. Subject, character discrepancy. Having run the control simulation for a while, it's evident that a certain quote-unquote character is missing from any mention or appearance. This makes me speculate that Monica's meddling is less clumsy than we think, because she would have had to manufacture this character herself as a way of forcing interaction between her and the user. Could that be why the quote-unquote character has such limited and dissonant personality traits? Or am I reading too much into this? I'll open an issue to start tracking info and observations on the anomaly of this quote-unquote character appearing. This is probably about the MC and how little to no reference there's been about the MC. Literally, like, well, there's been one throwaway line about the main character, and that throwaway line has just been Sayori talking about her friend who probably joined the anime club over the literature club. Oh, well, let's get into understanding part 2. Begin side story. For the first time, Sayori's the first to enter the club room. I mean, isn't that the second time, considering Monica didn't join the club at all last week or yesterday? Anxiety courses through her relentlessly. Will Yuri show up today? Sitting at a desk, she stamps her feet in an attempt to calm down. Why am I letting this affect me so much? Doing everything I can to make Yuri happy. But my best wasn't good enough. But it was still my best. But I'm letting everyone down. I'm always just a disappointment. Sayori continues to wrestle with her self-deprecating thoughts, every tiny noise causing her to lift her head in anticipation of Yudi's arrival. Minutes pass and nobody enters the club room. Not Yudi or Monica. Gosh, I'm so late. When I offer to help those other students with their work, I'm such a pushover sometimes. It's gonna leave such a bad impression on new club members like Yudi if I'm not the first one there. Monica rounds the corner, approaching the club room. As she does so, Yudi? Yudi jumps at the sound of Monica's voice. She's sitting outside the club room against the wall next to the door. Embarrassed, she quickly closes the book she was reading and stands up. Oh gosh, I'm sorry I'm late. You have to wait outside for me. The club room is open. It's not... Yudi stammers, unable to explain herself. She peers inside the club room through the window, then looks away. Actually, I was wondering if I could help you today instead. Huh? Me? With club publicity stuff? Yes. Monica's utterly confused. Why is Yudi asking this all of a sudden? Well, she was so eager to spend time with Sayori before. Did they not get along after all? Monica looks in the club room herself and sees Sayori sitting alone inside. Okay. It's kind of a simple job, but I'd be happy for you to tag along. Me too. Monica's worried, but she finds it difficult to insert herself to whatever conflict that might have arisen. It's a little ironic. She realizes that she could be so conflict avoidant after having been in the debate club. You know it's the extended version, but you're honestly surprised by how long it is. I mean, the main game is kind of the same length. I just kind of dragged it out by doing all the other routes. Truthfully, these side stories are a little shorter. About the same length as the main game, apparently. But yeah, no, this has nothing to do with the main game. Like, as far as I'm aware, whatever's gonna happen now is whatever. I could absolutely just play the main game, no problem, and not even touch these. This was all absolutely added in. Okay, let's walk together. But yeah, this is precisely why I bought this game. I was wondering, I was like, do I really want to buy Doki Doki even though it's free? But then they advertised the side stories. I was like, you know what? I did really like these characters, and I want to see what they're like without the... outside of the main game, when they're actually written to be characters versus written to be tropes. I just have to make copies of this news flyer. And I'll go around to the billboards and replace the old ones with the new ones. Yudi nods, and the two set off. Content warning, self-loathing. I don't think that's as bad, but I'm glad they still threw in that content warning regardless. So again, if you struggle with self-loathing, maybe take the time to step away. And again, truthfully, if you're not in the right headspace for that sort of stuff, maybe just step away from the stream entirely. It seems like we're going to get a lot of... we're going to be dealing with these themes a lot through these side stories. The two walk in silence. Without Sayori, Monica finds it quite difficult to strike up a conversation. So... how's everything been going? Fine. That's good. Neither of them follow up with anything more. Monica tenses up at the stinted conversation. How the heck does Sayori do it? Sorry I didn't see you yesterday. I went straight to the computer lab to work on the flyers. Sayori told me. What did you two end up doing yesterday? Just some reading. Oh, I'm glad. It's really starting to feel more like a literature club now. Yeah. It's kind of funny. I felt so intimidated at first when I heard about the kind of reading you were into. But, you know, it's kind of stupid of me because I'm just intimidated by things I'm not good at. And it's silly to assume that everyone who comes to the club will just have the same interests as me. But it's so cool that you're able to get Sayori into it. It's like the club is working, and I'm really happy about that. She's not into it. Hey, Seth. Hello, hello. Welcome in. Welcome for joining. Good to see you. How's it going? Uh-huh. She's not into it, and I'm stupid for forcing it onto her. Yudi falls silent again, as if she started her thought but can't figure out how to continue it. I mean, how can I allow you? How... You may or you may not. I need to know what it is, if you may. Yudi falls silent again as she is startled She said, oh, I read that. Bleh. Did something happen? Yuri sighs. Hey, Teoma, what's poppin'? Hey, Bear Raiders, how's it going? So good to see you. Teo, how's it going? What are you playing today? Let me see, is it what I think it was? Yeah, I was playing some Killer 7. How'd that go for you? Welcome, welcome. How far into it are you? What's poppin'? Welcome for joining. So good to see you. Hey, welcome, welcome. Oh, God, I still really need to get to Killer 7. I bought it during the fucking holiday sale recently. I was like, I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna play it. I've been lazy. Much to, I'm sure, someone here wanting to see me play it. Went good. Just beat Ayame at 1. Nice. Hell yeah. Well, welcome in. Welcome for joining. Glad you're having a good stream. How's it going in general? Hope you've been well. How's the PS4 situation? How's that going? Any updates on that, or still just sort of waiting around for the right chance to take it somewhere to get repaired? How's Donkey Kongy Bongo Club? It's going. Content warning for anyone who just popped in. We're doing a lot of the side stories. And for those of you who are unfamiliar with the side stories or Doki Doki in general, the main game, despite, you know, a lot of you probably not, at this point, it's hard to avoid spoilers about it. You've probably heard it's a horror game. But it does honestly bring up discussions of suicide, self-harm, self-hate, and that sort of deal. And if you're totally not in the right mindset for that or uncomfortable with those topics, I'd back away and probably come back later, as this is not the stream for that. We're doing the side stories, which is, what if we took the characters outside of the tropes that they're supposed to play and just sort of explored them and let them be characters with each other. Now that you guys have done the main game, you already know what the bait and switch switcheroo is. Let's give you a proper story. Let's give you these characters being themselves. And that includes all their struggles that they deal with. What is it? So right now, we got a content warning for self-loathing. So we're about to get into that. But I'd say I'm really, really glad I bought this. These side stories are kind of what I wanted. I just kind of wanted more of the characters interacting with each other outside of the MC. MC, as far as I'm aware, just doesn't exist in these stories. We had one throwaway line, and that's it. Still waiting for them to call you back so you can get it, so you can buy your own disc drive and not spend $200. Think they're just taking their sweet-ass time now that they know there's no money in it. I mean, there's money in it in that Doki Doki Plus did cost me money to buy this. Unless, wait, that's what you meant about the PlayStation, not the fucking game. Hold on. Still waiting for them to call you back so you can get it. So you can buy your own disc drive and not spend $200. RIP. You meant the PS4, lol. RIP. Damn, that sucks. Hopefully they call back soon. Otherwise, yeah, that really sucks. Oh, well. Hey, Seth, congrats on that. Very happy for you that your old boss, who has been really shitty, is now, facing charges for criminal neglect. Congrats on that. But I don't think a stream is the best place to bring it up. But regardless, congrats on that. Like, it takes 5 minutes to take one apart. What the fuck are they even doing? How long have they had it at this point? Because you brought this up, like, you said you want to take it in a week ago. Like a week and a half ago, you said you want to take it in? So I'd assume you probably took it somewhere sometime soon after that. You'd go there and demand it, but you don't want to bring it home in pieces. Assuming they probably already took it apart and just kind of like having it hang there. They've had it for like a week now. Are you fucking for real? And no word? Have you called about it at least? Blech. Yeah, if you don't hear anything about it, like, by the weekend, definitely just be a Karen about it. That's your property, that's your PlayStation. If they're not gonna do anything with it, then they might as well give it back to you. Anyways, let me get back into this. But again, for all the raiders that just popped in, the self-loathing content warning. No, it's just me. Yuri pauses. I'm thinking. A moment passes in silence, then Yuri shakes her head. They told you they'd put it back together and call you when it's ready for pickup, which was on Friday. It is now Wednesday, but considering your time zone, I think it's now like, what, 12 or 1 for you? Bleh, hate that. 2 a.m. Okay, so it was off by an hour. Fucking R.I.P. What were you playing? You were going to do something on that, right? Or what was the game that you wanted to stream but couldn't because PS4 down? You reminds you of the purple-haired girl in Katawa Shoujo. Oh, I remember. Hold on. I have not played Katawa Shoujo, but I know which character you're talking about. I had to fucking explain Katawa Shoujo to another friend. I think me and a friend had made like a Katawa Shoujo joke, and he just didn't get it. Both girls got long purple hair and are kind of shy. Not very good. It's still, at the very least, would I say iconic for Katawa Shoujo? Or is that just sort of popular amongst people who know those games? Sekiro, MGS5, and Yakuza. Yeah, it was free. For those of you who are unaware, Katawa Shoujo is a sort of, it's another visual novel akin to Doki Doki, but not quite. I just won't get into it. Feel free to look it up. One of those fan-made things that's actually, like, made versus talked about. Yep. All right, I'll get back into this. Moment passes in silence, then Yuri shakes her head. So now you're just padding things out, because who knows how long it'll take you to get that disk drive in the mail. Oh, did you order your own already? And I guess might as well, right? While you're waiting for the others to hand over. Can't order it until you get the PS4 back, because you don't know the model number. Oh, okay, okay. I was like, damn, someone really wants to get to work on that PS4 the moment it gets back. Gotta check the stickers. Ugh, God, I hope nothing happens with my Switch. Because the, like, model number stickers that are important kind of faded away. I shouldn't be complaining to you all of a sudden. Don't be silly. I won't think you're complaining. I just want to make sure you feel welcome. If it's important to that, then you can tell me anything. Well, I do feel welcome. Welcome, I guess. Panic. It's not an issue with the club. It's just an issue with me. So, I feel wrong to inconvenience you with it. Monica pauses and thinks. Well, what if we put it this way? It's my job as president to understand the needs of the club members, right? We're gonna have all kinds of people join this club. Hopefully, anyway. And learning about the diverse needs and interests of everyone will help me come up with club activities that everyone can be happy with. That everyone can be happy with? Not just only some people? Of course. I need to be looking out for everyone. Otherwise, what kind of a club would it be? I see. Yuri looks a little more relaxed. It signals to Monica that switching from a sympathetic approach to a pragmatic one was a good choice. Each individual truly does have their own needs. Okay. Yuri takes a deep breath. I'm a really weird and awkward person. I've accepted that about myself. I just don't know how to, I guess, connect with other people. How's it so easy for everyone else? How do you just make conversations about any arbitrary topic? I can talk for hours about the things that I'm into. Fortunately, so much that I don't know. So much that I don't know when to stop. But for anything else, I just have no idea what to say. So I understand that about myself. I'm just no good with people. I can't help it. So it feels like whenever I'm confronted with a new social situation, I'm either ignored or made fun of or taken pity on. And Sayori falls into the third category. What? Hold on. You're saying that Sayori is taking pity on you? Yuri nods. I just want to be treated like a normal person. If you don't like me or don't connect with my interests, then just tell me. I can accept that and move on. Sayori is too nice to me. I'm so stupid for not realizing that she would just go along with whatever I pushed onto her. Nobody deserves to put themselves through that kind of discomfort. Just because they pity some weirdo who doesn't know how to make friends. It's the worst feeling. I hate it. Yudi's sharp words cut through the tense air. Somewhere in the middle of the conversation, the two stopped short in the hallway, prioritizing the conversation over the original task. Monica looks at Yudi. Yudi looks down with her fist clenched. I think you should just tell her that. I can never say that to someone's face. It's pathetic. Sayore's different. Making people happy is the most important thing to her. I'm sure that's all she's trying to do. So if you're able to explain to her what makes you happy, then she'll do anything to make it happen. That's the problem. What kind of a friendship has one person always trying to cater to the other person's weird needs? I'm sorry. I'm making myself sound so... No, I think I'm starting to understand. Monica hesitates to finish her thoughts out loud. It's something that Sayori would be able to say better. Sayori is someone who will give anyone how much kindness they need in order to smile. But Yudi, who has difficulty accepting kindness, must be driving Sayori to be even more sensitive in her kindness, further exasperating the matter. Neither person is to blame, but it's an issue that can be resolved without them understanding each other better. Sayori wants to be your friend. I promise that. It's okay for different people to have different needs. I mean, Sayori has her own needs too. But good friends work together and can be what they need for each other. You just have to have good communication and talk about it. I don't have good communication. Yudi shakes her head. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say that. My head is just... it's so resistant to everything. I'm pushing such a kind person away from me because of it. Yudi pauses to think. I'm so tired of this cycle I'm creating for myself. I think I'm so afraid of people pushing me away that I just push them away first. How thoughtless and immature of me. Yudi takes a deep breath and exhales. I didn't mean for this to turn to a whole venting session. But I understand now that I just need to communicate with her. You're totally fine. It's for the club, remember? You're just helping make the club a better place for everyone. Yeah. Yudi falls silent again. She looks like she wants to say something. This kind of critical thinking is something that I'm really bad at. You know, about people. So, thank you. Anytime. Monica smiles at Yudi. For just a moment, Yudi finds it in herself to meet Monica's gaze, returning a shy smile of her own. Oh yeah, something about a literature club? Did we read Infinite Jest yet? No. Literature, they've literally read one book thus far. There's absolutely no members in the club, so they're more word on members. We've read like a chapter of some high fantasy novel. Some fucking Tolkien ass, George R. R. Martin ass, high fantasy, super lore heavy novel. Yudi and Monica finished replacing the old flyers with the new ones. More accurately, Monica mostly did the work while Yudi followed along. I'll be honest, there's more literature clubbing involved than I kind of expected from these side stories. But as the club room once again draws near, so does Yudi's confrontation. We just need some Forgotten Realms. I can't do this. Yes, you can. It'll be great. Yudi sighs and shakes her head. I'm never gonna feel confident enough. I just have to do it. If I do it now, I never will. Yudi starts towards the door, but then turns to face Monica. You're not just gonna wait outside, are you? Nah, I can take a walk. Want me to get you a coffee or something? I'd like one. Actually, I prefer tea. There it is. I like to make my own though, so please don't worry about it. Although, I suppose that's one downside of reading here in the club rather than at home. I don't get to drink tea while reading. Sorry, I guess that has nothing to do with this. You know, now that you mention it, I bet we get permission to keep stuff like tea in the club room. You can use like an electric kettle to heat up the water, right? Wouldn't that really be possible? I'll look into it. I think it'd be great. Spoilers, they're allowed. Yudi smiles and nods at the thought. Her smiling sprite is really pretty, though. Well, I'll be back in a bit. Good luck. Monika waves at Yuri, then turns around and departs down the hallway as Yuri's face smile fades once more. A moment of daydreaming about tea is enough to save her from the anxiety of the task that lies before her. But it must be done. Taking one more deep breath, Yuri timidly opens the club door. Yuri? Wait, hold on. I'm not done yet. Sayori shuffles a bunch of papers around. Yuri stammers, her words suddenly caught in her throat. At the moment, she realized how Sayori has been spending her afternoon. I wasn't expecting you to come in today. I was really hoping to make it all the way through the next chapter first. But I got most of the way through it. And look! Sayori holds up a sheet of paper. It's a page of notes beautifully produced with indentations, categories, and even color coding. I could fucking never. As Yuri sees it, her expression shifts from anxiety to despair. I was afraid you were getting disappointed in me, so I've been trying really hard. Stop. Yuri presses her fist against her forehead. Please stop. I can't take this. Yuri? Sayori's voice quivers in shock after having received the exact opposite response she was expecting. I'm sorry. Sayori looks away in guilt. Did I do something wrong? I don't understand, so if I did something wrong, please tell me. Yuri shakes her head. No, it's me. I keep putting myself in these situations where people are afraid to treat me normally. If you don't like this kind of reading, it's okay. Please, just tell me. Not Bearman making audio recordings of lectures, taking a snap of the whiteboard, Bruin Magic Dexel classes. Excuse me? You doing what, Bearman? What is taking a snap of the whiteboard? What does that mean? And Magic Dex? Excuse me? What's this about Magic Dex? Can you, do you tarot readings? What's my future hold? Lots of money, I hope. I don't need to be treated differently just because I'm weird. But I don't treat you differently. Oh, Magic the Gathering decks. I just want my friends to be happy. So, I thought that if we did something together that you really like... I don't want your pity. Why did I do that? Yuri sinks to her knees. Her voice squeaks. I'm sorry. Oh, like that's you? Fucking Sayori here taking notes on everything. That's you taking notes on like MTG shit? I would never. I look at it, I go... Yeah, I'm good. Despite really liking stories like with like heavy like world building and lore, I'm like, yeah, I'm good. I'll interact at a surface level. Anyways, we're getting a big emotional moment, so I'm just gonna read from majority. I better not see no more fucking MTG talking though. I don't understand shit about card games. Anyways, I'm sorry. Tears of guilt and self-loathing begin to stream down her face. This is not how it was supposed to go. Why is it so hard just to articulate your thoughts? Why do you end up pushing everyone away from you? Yuri's mind pounds with these internal accusations that she shuts her eyes, unable to face Sayori or the rest of the world. She should leave be, just escape from here before Monika sees her like this, before Sayori tells Monika what she did. Before Yuri can put any strength into her legs, she feels a warm pair of arms gently wrap around her from behind. Oh, this is pretty. It's okay. Sayori whispers in a soothing voice. It's okay. It's okay. Overcome by despair, Yuri finds herself unable to protest or pull away from Sayori's kind gesture. Yuri sniffles, breathing heavily through her clenched throat, trying with all her willpower to control herself. I understand. I understand the things you're feeling in your head are different from the things you want to say, you're trying to say. I know that must be what you're feeling right now. I promise I understand. So, I'll give you as much time as you need. When you're ready, just tell me your feelings, and we'll talk about them together, okay? Yuri sniffles again and nods her head. She gives herself a minute to compose her thoughts, then speaks while steadying her voice. I think that I've gotten so used to people being weirded out by me that it feels like anyone who's nice to me is just doing it out of pity. I'm so horrible with people, so it makes me not want to believe that someone can actually like me for who I am. Yuri pauses, but Sayori doesn't interrupt. Rather, she waits for Yuri to continue. I get so excited when I joined the literature club. I thought that it was finally my chance to make friends through my interest, because my interests are the only things I know how to talk about. It's all I have going for me. But then, whenever I catch myself getting overly obsessive in front of people, it feels like I'm making a fool out of myself. I hate myself for it. Ultimately, I just want to be treated like a normal person. But how am I supposed to expect that when I can't behave like one? I just want to learn how to get along with people and stop ruining things for myself. That's all. Yuri finishes her thoughts, feeling more steady after having gotten them out. Sayori, who can feel Yuri's breath rise and fall from beneath her arms, realizes that as well. Thank you for helping me understand you a little bit better. You know, you were so great at helping me while we were reading, so I'll help you with the things that you need too. But I feel like it would just be frustrating for you with how much patience I require sometimes. That sounds kind of familiar. I couldn't stop worrying about that while we were reading. I was so afraid you'd get frustrated with me. But I would never do that. I did my best to reassure you by mentioning how I have a lot of patience. Yeah, I know. But my irrational fears just won't be quiet sometimes. I'm sure it's the same for you though, right? Yeah. Irrational fears. Well, you know, there's no way you could frustrate me because I already like you as the person that you are. I know you said you have a hard time believing that, but I promise that it's true. You don't have to be a social person for people to like you. I think you're really considerate in your own way, you know? Worrying so much about people's feelings. We're all kind of weird. It's a literature club. But it's the best part that we're all different and have different interests. Like, about the book. I'm reading it because I want to, I promise. That's what I really want. It's a bit of a struggle, but try not to mistake that for me not enjoying it. I mean, we can never discover new things if we didn't try them first, right? I want to learn the reasons that you love it so much. And in the end, it's not for me, then I can say that. But I'll be glad that I tried it and learned more about you. Plus, you're like super duper smart. And I want that to rub off on me. Yuri fights back a smile at that comment. Already, the heavy atmosphere surrounding her seems to have evaporated through the caresses of Sayori's arms. Your hair's so pretty. I always wanted long hair, but I was awful at taking care of it, so I cut it all off. Yuri's tension relaxes. For once, she feels okay just listening, rather than worrying so much about saying the right thing. Sayori, sensing Yuri's comfort, lets her rest. Must be so difficult for her to feel so relaxed around other people. But if the literature club can make it happen, then it's something that she deserves to experience. Alright, that was cute. That was a really cute moment, and absolutely agreed, I do really like the CG art. I'm glad I did see that these side stories have a lot of CG. Well, it looks like we'll be getting at least one CG art per, what do you call it? We'll be getting one CG art per side story, like per act of the side story. And you know what, Angela, you said you like knowing what you know about the main game, you're worried. Totally fine. The main game exists in its own continuity. All right, this can be connected to the main game, but it's fine. It's already confirmed. The main game can be its own continuity that is separate. You're fine. So long as the main character never exists, everything is okay. Behold, look at how beautiful and how heartwarming and sweet a world without penises. No penis in the story means the characters can just be happy and fine. Based on my understanding of your feelings, I suppose I wouldn't mind if we were to continue reading. That's what I wanted to hear. Also, I think these CGs are like brand new, so like I mentioned, right? The main game came out in 2017, September something 2017. I literally looked this up earlier. So the artists had some time to like improve their art and get a lot better at it. Like I mentioned this before, but I really like the new renders of the characters, and I was kind of hoping the side stories would have it, but like honestly, you do you, reuse your assets. If you truly don't like it, please be honest about it. I won't be offended. Oh yeah, this is a totally brand new update. We've already completed the main game. I think this scene is gonna end soon, so I'll show you in a minute. But like these side stories are completely devoid of the main story. The free-to-play version of the main story is totally its own thing. And there's a new version of the game, if you've noticed, Doki Doki Plus, which is paid, but you get collectible in-game art, in-game music player, plus, you know, if you buy it on PC or anywhere, you also get a download for that music. You get a download code for that music. You get all these side stories, which is the real reason I bought this game, is for the side stories. So yeah, it's like a totally whole different thing. We're not gonna be getting, there's literally, anyone who's worried about horror, you're fine. The side stories are literally just this. Cutesy slice of life with characters dealing with their like problems and being friends with one another, right? All the horror, that's in the main game. This is its own thing. How much was Plus? Plus is $15 digitally, $30 if you get the physical edition, which I did because I'm really like this game and I wanted all the physical goodies that comes with it. There is but one choice. I don't even know why I asked, but you got it. This is the first time that we're busting out RR2 since I changed the overlay, so I gotta make them bigger. Because my head is bigger now on the new overlay. There you go. There you go, Ronald. Welcome in. Good to see you, Mr. President. Physical, better than digital all day, every day. It's just so funny, right? I look at like my PS5 to PS4 collection. What do I have for PS5 games? I got Demon's Souls Remake, Elden Ring Remake, Call of Duty Cold War, and then Doki Doki Literature Club. Because of course I could have just bought the PS4 version, but I need all the processing power of a PS5 to play a visual novel. Of course. I'm not gonna judge anything this early on though, so we'll just see what happens. Did I say Elden Ring Remake? I said Demon's Souls Remake, didn't I? I mean, in all fairness, Teo, they kind of did. A new update came out and they added a fucking new NPC. I was like, shouldn't NPCs have been there from the start? Is this guy tied to the reason that like one of the quest lines is broken? Because they forgot to toggle this NPC's script from 0 to 1, or whichever one is on to from off to on. Oh, and it's not good to touch people without their consent first. Oh no, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make you uncomfortable. Oh, you didn't. I mean, I suppose it was kind of nice. I was just saying. I'm back. Monica's back. She was literally, yeah, I know damn well, right? She walked away for a little bit and has just been staring into the fucking club room like this. Just face pressed up against the club room, just watching, staring. Where's my watching you? Just like this. This is Monica through that little like window in the fucking door, just watching them, waiting. Funnily enough, it's the same name as my manager that emote's based off of. I haven't seen you, like, at all recently. Sayori trots over to Monica. She whispers loudly. Can I hug you? Sure, Sayori. Sayori wraps her arms around Monica. Oh, yeah. Yuri, it might be good to know. Sayori can be kind of a hug monster. Hey, don't call me a monster. Also, hey. Hey, Angela. Hey, Dreamy Tude, look over here, look at me. Look over here, look at me. Dreamy Tude, look over here. Bitch. Thanks for the redeem. Bitch. Hey, don't call me a monster. Artemis is a monster. If he inherits the kingdom, it could spell disaster. Yuri laughs. Monica perplexedly looks between the two of them, then smiles. Well, I'm glad you've been enjoying your reading so far. It's like our first real activity as a literature club. About that, well, you've been so patient with exploring my interest. I think that it would be inconsiderate of me not to return the favor to you and learn about the things that you like. Yes. Do you like poetry? Yuri smiles. All right, so here, now I can show you, right? If you buy Plus on console, it gives you this little virtual machine desktop, which gives you, damn, look how fucking, we did the main game, we only had like 9 songs. 2 of them were like bonus songs. Now we got all this. PG Pie must be one of the new ones. Oh god, I still need to get off my lazy ass and claim my free download to the soundtrack that came with my copy. Man, whenever like someone's like, oh, you get a free soundtrack for the game, I go, sick. And it's like, go to this website to download it. I was like, nah, is it on Spotify? Can I just add it to my Spotify? Monica's your fave looks-wise. Agreed. Oh, that's cute. Finish the side story understanding too. Yeah, look at that. Hold on, I gotta bust out Fingor. Where's he at? Where's my cursor? Where's my cursor? Here it is. Look at this. Where is it? Where is it? Hold on, I lost it. Look at this. Look at that right there. Universal S. Game of the year. Game of the year. Game of the year. I know I was saying that before. I'll say it again. Game of the year. Universal S. That's all we need. I think more games should incorporate the Universal S as art. All right, goodbye, Fingor. Duly noted. Yeah, you know what? Next demo build, I better see that Universal S, which, hey, by the way, if you guys didn't know, my sick friend Teoma here, the bear man himself, is working on a game called Cleave Together, and you should absolutely go check it out. And if you haven't already, check out Teoma's streams. It's where this absolutely lovely piece of artwork comes from. Y'all know you fucking see me dropping this all the time. Hide one somewhere. I'm eager to find it. Oh, but we were talking about the art earlier. But yeah, like I said, so here's the old 2017 art. And here is... Oh, well, you know what? Here we go. Right, 27... Well, we'll ignore her because we don't have hers. 2017 art. Yeah, so it's 2017. 2017, and then 2021 renders. Love the new looks. I also like, really digging how kind of messy her hair is here. I dig that a lot, and I wish that was translated more in the original sprites, but what can you do? I'll set that, why not? That's really pretty. That'll be my new wallpaper. Any new mail, new files? Nope. All right, well, let's get right into this. Side story number 3, respect. You know what? I got respect. I got the Universal S was there. Respect. Game recognizes game. Let us be. How many do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect. All right, I think we'll do respect 1 and 2, and then probably call it. Considering the length of these, it's probably gonna be a little short of a stream. We got like another hour unless it gets super sidetracked. We need a 2021 buff Natsuki render. I found the person who originally drew it too, and I wish we can get it again. They did such a good job. I was genuinely convinced I was going to be like a jump scare, like not jump scare, but like a gag in the game. That you have a random chance of triggering the buff Natsuki sprite. It's been several weeks since the club has officially started. Through their initial setbacks, the 3 club members so far, Monika, Sayori, and Yuri, have increased their collective bond within the club. Sayori has partaken in some of Yuri's high fantasy literature, and all 3 of them, led by Sayori, have taken an interest in poetry. On a day like any other day, the 3 find themselves suddenly interrupted by the club room door opening. And in walks a girl none of them have seen before. Hi. Sayori tugs excitedly at Monika's sleeve. Yuri shifts in her seat and buries her eyes in her books. Are you here for the literature club? Yeah. Yay, that's great. Thanks for stopping by. It's kind of a small club still, so it's really exciting to see new faces. Yeah. Come sit down somewhere. You can sit next to my desk. Sayori prances over to her desk and presses her palms into it. You've been visited by the Sleepy Bear Man. Reply to this post with sleep tight bear man to earn good sleep. So I'm like, oh, fucking, are you serious? Fucking hate chainmail, but I ain't gonna risk it. I ain't gonna fucking risk it. There you go. Sleep tight, bear man. You take care and have a good one. Best luck with that PS4. And best of luck with the rest of Killer 7. Oh, and Yuri can make you some... Oh, and Yuri can make you some tea. Yuri looks up at Sayori in protest for having drawn attention to her. Natsuki suddenly glances between everyone, then sits down next to Sayori. Monika follows by, sitting nearby. The sudden gathering prompts Yuri to stand up, deciding that standing in the corner and making tea doesn't sound so bad after all. Okay then, how about we all introduce ourselves? Okay. Well, I'm Monika. I'm the one who started the club. I was originally in the debate club, but I really want to do something I felt more passionate about, if that makes sense. So I started the literature club as a way for people to express themselves through writing or reading or whatever other kind of literature. You know, I figured it was your club. You have that vibe. I'm the one who started the club. You know, you look like the kind of person who'd start a literature club. The fuck is that supposed to mean? I have what vibe? You know, like, never mind. I'm not gonna judge people I just met like that. Very adult-like of you. I always judge people super hard. No, you don't, Sayori. Yes, she does. Yuri's deadpan voice carries across the room. Natsuki giggles. I'm Sayori. I just like learning about everyone and making friends. Oh, and I also like poetry. Oh, yeah? Very adult-like of you. I'm an adult. The sound of Yuri's electric kettle steaming up fills the room. Oh, that's Yuri. Sayori lowers her voice. She's kind of shy, but she's really nice and super smart. She likes big fantasy books and tea, and I love her. Well, I guess that leaves me then. I'm Natsuki. I like listening to music and hanging out downtown and stuff. And my favorite ice cream flavor is strawberry. You know, you look like a strawberry kind of person. Oh, let's get ice cream. My favorite flavor is probably cookie dough or maybe chocolate. It's cookie dough. You know, you look like a cookie dough kind of person. Is this chapter mostly gonna be just the, you know, I like sprinkles. You know, you look like a sprinkles kind of guy. Because I'm down to just keep doing that bit. But seriously though, what kind of ice cream do y'all like? And if it ain't pecan or just plain vanilla, get out of here. Leave me alone. Don't talk to me. You're okay. If you're mint, you're fine, but still. Natsuki looks like a human strawberry. Tiger. The fuck kind of ice cream is tiger? Woods? It's cookie dough. And Monika's is probably vanilla. What the heck? I take way too many online quizzes. The ice cream ones are always accurate. What's Yuri's favorite? Natsuki shrugs. Probably green tea. I'm just joking. I have no idea for Yuri. Still, it's pretty chill here. Do you like to hang out or do you actually do club stuff? Well, we do club stuff too. It just hasn't been very structured yet since we only have like 3 members. So we just kind of loosely spend our time doing stuff we like. Orange ice cream with licorice swirl. Can't say I've tried it. I'd be down to though. Ooh. I'm going somewhere Saturday. Maybe they'll have ice cream. It's been getting warmer recently, and you know what? The idea of ice cream is kind of tantalizing now. Especially because I fucking went to go hang out with my family, and my little sister had ice cream. I was like, where the fuck did you get a waffle cone from? And she's like, our aunt gave it to me, and I looked at my aunt. I was like, where the fuck did you get ice cream? And she's just like, I found it. No other explanation. I was like, all right. I wish I could just find ice cream in the crevices of my home. But I keep thinking it's about time we start with, like, some more structured club activities. It's been a while now since I started the club, so yeah. Well, that being said, what kind of literature are you into, Natsuki? Anything you'd like the club to get into? Well, I guess I'm literature. Well, I like manga. Manga? Hey, why'd you say it like that? I want to read manga in the club. Wait, hold on a second. That sounds so great. Like, after all I've been doing all this, She returns to the desk with a tray of teacups, which she sets down on an empty desk. After all of the, deep and immersive reading I've been doing, I wouldn't mind doing something a little more simple. Manga isn't simple. If you think that, you just don't understand the nuances. I didn't mean simple like that. Well, anyway, putting manga aside, is there any other kind of literature that you're interested in? Well, not really. In that case, have you considered the anime club? Are you serious? I'm not gonna join the anime club. It's full of weird guys. Listen, I walked into the anime club one day and walked out the next. I feel you there. Come on, is it that big of a deal? Manga's literature, right? I mean, you walk into the manga club, you're getting guys like... If you walk into the anime club, you're getting guys like the Approach and Snom. I keep peeking over to see if he's still here and says anything. I mean, I guess if you consider the literal definition of literature, then technically, I get it. Look. Do whatever club activities you want. Can I please just join? I won't bother anyone. If I can just, like, keep my manga here and hang it after school, I'll do literally whatever you want me to do. That's fine, right? Oh shit, yeah, look at that. It's actually time for RR2 to get going. See how RR2 didn't even realize the timer went off. Alright, bingo time. It's fine, right? Yeah, I guess there's nothing wrong with that. Oh my god, thank you. You're the best. I have most of it crammed in my locker, so I'm gonna start getting it, okay? Natsuki stands up. Need some help? Nah, I got it. I don't want you to see my locker. If you say so, but there's no way it's worse than mine. I hope we never find out then. Natsuki exits the club, leaving everyone silence, save for the sound of Yuri sipping her tea. Ugh, such a pushover. Hey, it's not that bad. Natsuki seems like a lot of fun. Maybe, but I mean, she's like no actual interest in literature, you know? That's normally fine, but she said she would participate in club activities like it's some kind of obligation. Her tea is going to get cold. Yeah. Wait, that's not related. Well, I think everyone deserves a chance. Excuse me. Hiccup. Especially if we can bring her happiness. Besides, maybe she'll take a liking to literature. Are you sure you just don't want to read her manga, Sayori? Hey, who do you think I am? Sorry, I didn't mean that. I just feel really uneasy about this. Do you have any opinion, Yuri? Not particularly. She said she wasn't gonna bother anyone. That includes me, so... Does that mean I bother you? No, you're a pleasure to be around. I was just fishing for a compliment. I know. But still, I really think we should give her a chance. Yeah, alright. But I really am gonna start enforcing club activities. I'm willing to cooperate. Suddenly, the three of them hear a thump against the door. What was that? Sayori stands up and walks over to the door, then opens it. Ugh, thank you. Carrying 3 boxes what is presumably manga, Natsuki grunts and wobbles inside of the before slowly bending over and dropping the stack onto the floor as gently as she can. That's quite the collection. Sayori giggles in excitement while catching her breath. Natsuki replies, "There's still one more box. I can put them away myself. I know how to organize them." Monica anxiously glances between Sayori and Yuri. Is this really okay for the club? Maybe it's what she needs to really kick the club into gear before everyone gets too complacent. Seems like things are finally going to start getting more serious. At the next club meeting, Monica's the first to arrive. But ever since Natsuki joined, she feels a lot less relaxed. Why am I so nervous? Monica paces, trying to figure out her feelings. Natsuki said she wasn't going to bother anyone, so why does it feel like the atmosphere's changed so much? Well, Monica thinks the club door opens, revealing Natsuki carrying a box. Monica forces a smile as Natsuki makes her way to the closet. Natsuki forces one in return. Need help? No, I got it. Monica awkwardly tries to start some kind of conversation, but fails. Curious, she peeks into the closet where Natsuki's stashing all of her manga. Once dull with school supplies, the shelves are now vibrant with bright colors and cute-looking artwork. You know, the top shelf's pretty empty. Maybe we could keep it up there? Can't reach up there. It'd be so inconvenient. Yeah, but... Monica sighs. Teacher's gonna ask what all this manga's doing in here. I had to tell them it's for the literature club. So? Monica backs off and slumps into a desk. That kind of tension, it feels like the relaxed atmosphere accumulated over the past few weeks is being sucked right out of the room. Good afternoon. Sayori spins into the club room. Oh, I see someone's in a good mood. Yeah, because I have this. Sayori brandishes a cookie wrapped in plastic. Found some money and got a cookie. Ooh, that's so pretty. As Sayori trots over to the closet, the colorful shelves catch her eye. Which one do I start with? Well, you can start by giving me a bite out of that cookie. No way. I saved up all my luck to find that money. Honestly, fucking me, my broke ass, scrounging for every dime I can come across. If you want entry to my kingdom, you'll need to pay the tax, peasant. Boo. Defeated, Sayori unwraps her cookie and breaks off a piece for Natsuki. Then, Yuri silently walks into the club room. Monica glances at her with pleading eyes. Yuri returns a quick nod of understanding. Well, everyone's here now. Despite the club only having one more person than before, it somehow feels twice as lively. Okay, so I think today we should go over some potential club activities and see which ones we want to do first. We have 4 members now, so it'd be great if we could find some stuff to do as a group. Does that sound good to everyone? I agree. Okay, so I have some ideas of my own, but I want to hear your ideas too. Well, I've been having a lot of fun learning about everyone else's interests. Maybe we can give each person a day to share their favorite kind of literature with everyone else? Well, maybe. Something tells me that... Monica glances at Yuri and Natsuki, who appear to be very unwilling to even consider the other's interest. Maybe we can try to come up with something that everyone can equally enjoy. You know, like we all vote on a book to read or something like that. I think we should all collectively try to expand our interests, rather than just stick to the thing we're familiar with. Why does it feel like I'm being targeted here? Natsuki, didn't you say you'd go along with whatever the club wanted to do? Well, yeah, but that doesn't make it okay for you to ignore everyone else's preferences. I like Sayori's suggestion. Yeah, me too. Yeah, but... Monica's voice trails off. Although she let Natsuki join the club, Monica finds it incredibly difficult to relent to her demands. If Natsuki doesn't respect the club, why should Monica have to yield to Natsuki's opinion on anything? Natsuki, are you sure you don't have any other literature interests you could share with the club? I swear, if you don't... I don't mind if you keep your manga here, but I just... Natsuki cuts Monica off, suddenly standing up. Well, it's obvious that I'm not wanted here, so I'm just gonna leave. But I really would have appreciated you being more upfront about it. Okay, I think you're kind of jumping to a conclusion here, but you're free to do whatever you want. Natsuki shoots Monica a quick glance before walking straight out of the room. Oh no. Sayori runs after her, leaving just Monica and Yuri. For the second time today, Monica slumps down into a desk. Why am I such a jerk? No, she's a jerk. She just make me feel this way. Monica looks up at Yuri, seeking affirmation. Yuri looks away. She probably just went around looking for the smallest club she could find so she doesn't have to participate. How does she expect me to give her respect? She has no respect for the club. Am I wrong, Yuri? I'm not good at these things. Me neither. I have no idea what to do. I don't want to hurt anyone, but I feel like it's not wrong to enforce the club vision. You know, like, people should join because they want to express their passion for literature, or at least develop it. So, maybe she's not a good fit for the club after all. Monica sits in silence, afraid to accept her tentative conclusion. Yuri looks tense, but she doesn't seem to want to add anything. Sorry, you can go back to reading. I know this doesn't concern you. It does. It does? How? Well, I just can't comfortably read in an atmosphere where the peace has been disturbed. Oh. Well, great. I'm just ruining the whole club then. That's not an accurate conclusion to make. I know, I'm sorry. I'm just kind of voicing my frustration, I guess guilt.
Shut up, Sneggy!
I'm reading here, but you know what? It is time for Fingor to head on out. It's like my frustration wants to blame her, but my guilt just wants to blame me. Ugh, why is it the hardest to be rational during times you need it the most? I don't think you're being irrational. I think Natsuki is. She has no authority to walk in here and make demands of the club, your club. Something as ridiculous as manga has no place here. The fact that you're even storing it for her should make her completely indebted to you. Thank you for the hydrate. I'll take that right now. Well, you're right, but I don't know. Isn't it kind of harsh to say things like it's ridiculous to say it has no place here? Do you not feel the same way? You've been doing everything you can to avoid associating the club with it. So, I assumed you felt the same way about it. That's not true. Well, recalling our confrontation with Natsuki, a realization suddenly set in. You may be right. I mean, if it was anything besides manga, would I really be acting like this? Maybe I've just been convincing myself that has nothing to do with manga. I'm really upset that I would let myself do that. With a sigh, Monica walks over to the closet. She finds herself staring at the colorful shelves. It's just, this really wasn't what I had in mind for a club about literature. There shouldn't be anything wrong with that. Monica starts defending her position once again. It's a complicated issue that Monica had failed to consider before now. Where's the line even drawn at what's considered literature? Lost in thought, she reaches into one of the larger box sets and pulls out a volume, inspecting it for no particular reason. The cover features 4 girls striking cute and exaggerated poses, all dressed in short skirts. Yeah, I mean, amused by the absurdity of the cover, Monica opens the book. Oh no, thus begins her descent. New side story, new mail, new pictures, new music. So let's put on some song. God damn, there's so much. We'll put on Hug Energy, why not? This one is kind of sweet. Pictures. There it is. There's the new Natsuki render. Yeah, I like this new art a lot. Any other things? Not yet. New poems, new... Alright, that was that. Hey, new email from Ive Laster. OMG. Sent 6 days before the first email we got? Huh. I didn't realize these emails are going backwards. Why am I getting them backwards? Oh my god. Okay, who's responsible for creating a Twitter account for Monica? I think it's hilarious, but for God's sake, don't tell Paula. It would get 404'd in a microsecond. Are you just relaying her tweets manually, or did you code some kind of pass-through layer to automate it? Based on the content of the tweets, example, not screaming for help, I assume they're coming from the control simulation? Oh, that's funny. For those of you who don't know, Monica does have an actual Twitter account that you can follow. Lil Monic X, I believe it is. Lil Monic X3, I think. I forget the actual thing of it. I think there's a 3 in there somewhere. Lil Monix 3, there we go. Thank you, thank you. I'm still really surprised to see that it's updating again, but also I assume it has something to do with the fact that fucking Plus released. All right, last side story for the day, and then we'll be ending it a little earlier. Begin Respect Part 2. This sucks. Why is Monica such a jerk? She should be grateful they even joined her stupid club. It's not like she could find any members. Monica's usually really nice. She cares so much about the club. Everyone in the club being happy. Yeah, right. Well, she usually does. Maybe when she's not busy being so judgmental. So what if I'm into manga? Why can't one person just accept that instead of being so condescending about it? I accept it. I think it's cute. Oh, come on. That's condescending too. I'm sorry. I didn't mean it like that. I just want to support you. Natsuki sighs. I know. Thanks. It just really sucks. You want me to talk to Monica? I don't know. It's not like it's gonna change her opinion of me. Like, even if you were to convince her to back off, it wouldn't suddenly make me feel like I'm actually welcome in this club. Let's just find another club. Wait, you don't have to do that. We can figure this out, please. I mean, I'm the vice president, or at least I think I am. I don't want everyone to leave. Everyone deserves to feel welcome and to be happy, so I want to make that happen for you. I was wondering, what was the reason they decided to join the literature club? Well, Natsuki hesitates. It's kind of dumb. Aw, don't say that. There's no such thing as a dumb reason when everyone's welcome. I wasn't welcome. You were to me, so just don't tell anyone, okay? Especially Monica. I promise. Natsuki sighs. I'm just tired of everyone judging me all the time. Can't enjoy any of the stuff I'm into without people making snotty comments about it. Not that I care about what anyone else thinks, but you know the Science for Literature Club said that you can be yourself or whatever? So I decided it was at least worth a shot. That was a lie, apparently. So that was a lie. Natsuki dejectedly kicks the toe of her shoe against the wall. Oh, and I like writing too. Really? How come you didn't say that to Monica? Because she was being so judgmental that I didn't just want to tell her something she wanted to hear. She didn't deserve that kind of satisfaction. And she knows into writing that she'd be just like everyone else and try to push me away from manga in favor of the more mature thing. Two of them remain silent for a while. Sayori understands that it's out of the question for Natsuki to return to the club room for today at least. But Natsuki has a reason for wanting to join the club just like everyone else. It's part of the club vision for her to be welcome. You deserve to express yourself as much as everyone else. That's supposed to be what the club is for. So, I'm gonna do everything I can to fix this. I promise. Content warning, bullying. Y'all know the drill already. If this is something you've had to deal with and you're not comfortable hearing about, step away. It's lunchtime the next day. Cafeteria and hallways are bustling with students rushing to meet with their friends and make the most out of their limited break time. Where could she be? Among them is Monica, who always eats her lunch in the classroom. But she has some additional business today. Afraid Natsuki would avoid coming to the club, Monica decided to try to find her during lunch so that she can make amends. After searching for an extensive time, Monica finally spots her. Despite her short stature, Natsuki's bright hair helps her stand out in the crowd. Oh gosh. Suddenly feeling awkward again, Monica's afraid to get closer. Natsuki's with some friends whom Monica doesn't recognize, and they're all energetically chatting together. It'd be really tactless just interrupt them. Oh yeah, did you end up joining that literature club or what? Huh? Of course I joined. Why wouldn't I? I told you she would join. Come on. You know she'll only join because you wouldn't stop giving her crap about the anime club. I told you I never wanted to join that stupid club. Oh, sure. Well, you have to give yourself some credit for at least making an effort to finally grow past that trash. True. Well, congrats on finally graduating middle school, Natsuki. We're proud of you. Shut up. Just let me do my thing. I'm just joking. You know we love you. Yeah, once the literature club makes you a famous writer, we'll be the first ones to buy your book. What are you gonna... What, you gonna buy her smutty fan fiction? Well, obviously, I want a signed copy. That was like years ago. You don't think I've grown out of it by now? I told you I was joking. Besides, it's a good reminder of how far you've come since then. Not to mention you couldn't have done it without us. That gives us the pass to joke about it. Yeah, sure. They grow up so fast, it brings a tear to my eye. Natsuki suddenly glances in Monica's direction, prompting Monica to quickly turn away and distance herself. What the heck? That was horrible. I should have said something to defend her. Why do I have to be so conflict avoidant? Not that I deserve to say anything. Hardly better than them after the way I treated her. Ugh, so awful. Not doing anything right. After school, Monica distractingly makes her way to the club room. She finds Yuri already inside, eyes on a book as usual. Monica picks a desk and slumps into it, something she seems to be doing rather often lately. Yuri, I don't think I could be club president. I suck at handling anything that doesn't go, like, exactly my way. Yuri looks up from her book. It's like, the literature club is a place you can go to express yourself, unless it's in a way I don't like. I'm so mad at myself. Hey, Evo. Hello, hello. Welcome in. Welcome for joining. Good morning? Yeah, good morning. It's 12:02. So it's morning now, I guess. Welcome in. Welcome for joining. Good to see ya. How you been? Hope you're doing well. We're just doing some Doki side stories. Popping in, too, because whenever this chapter ends, I'm actually probably going to cut it a little early. And I'm especially mad that I didn't have the self-reflection skills to realize what I was doing. So much for maturity. Sorry, I really should be complaining out loud like this. There's just, like, a ton on my mind. No. I enjoy listening. Really? Why? Yuri shrugs. But I don't fucking know. It just makes me feel nice. Oh, well, okay, I guess I'll just continue then. Yuri nods. Yeah, well, Natsuki has kind of a blunt attitude, you know? It made me feel like she wasn't taking the club seriously. Couldn't figure out why she wanted to join. I saw her friends talking to her in the hallway, and they were just so mean to her. Telling her to grow up and stuff like that, that the literature club would help her grow out of her manga. Just made me so mad, like, let her enjoy it. It makes her happy. Why are you trying to take that away from her? And when I had that thought, it was when I came to the realization that I was kind of doing the same thing in a roundabout way. I should have made her feel good about being passionate about something, but I just dismissed it. No, I was actually trying to avoid acknowledging it at all. I even did that with you, Yuri, when you first joined the club. You did? Yeah, remember? Fantasy isn't really my thing, so I kind of was trying to dismiss it, but then Sayori jumped in and took over the conversation. I should have reflected on that, but I didn't because I just let Sayori handle it instead. Now I'm repeating the same mistake, except I really hurt someone this time. Monica shakes her head. I'm so tired of being afraid of things I'm not comfortable with. It's so stupid. Like, I can just picture how much joy it would bring Natsuki if I let her share her passion a little. So angry that her friends are treating her like that. I'm gonna get them back for it. Get them back? Yeah, I'll get them back, but make sure this literature club that Natsuki wants, that this is the literature club that Natsuki wants, not the one that they want. Suddenly, Sayori bursts through the door, making Monica and Yuri jump. With a rare, stern face, she marches over to Monica's desk and sits down next to her. I'm having an intervention. I can do that because I'm vice president. Is this about Natsuki? Yes. Yeah, I know. I messed up. I'm super sorry. I was just talking to Yuri about it. Really? I was just so dismissive about her passion that she felt threatened and probably unwelcome. Literally the opposite of what the literature club's supposed to be. I really need to make it up to her. Oh. Yay! I did it! Thanks for the intervention. Thanks for the intervention, Sayori. I'm glad we're on the same page. Friendship wins again. So, how do you want to make it up to her? I have a plan. Sayori, do you know if Natsuki's coming to the club today? I don't think she is. I see. Monica was afraid of that, not because of her plan, but because she's facing the consequences of the damage that she's inadvertently caused. But the only way to do the right thing is to face it head on. So easy to just duck away from conflict and avoid it and wait for it to blow over. But that's not enough. To truly respect someone's feelings after you've hurt them is to face them and admit your wrongdoing. Not the wrongdoing of mismanaging the club, but the wrongdoing of disrespecting Natsuki's feelings. Ugh, posture check. I was getting too comfy there. Fix your fucking spines. No slouching, no curling over. That shit better fucking crack the moment you sit up straight. Perfect straight angle, all right? I was getting way too cozy there. Okay, do you think you can get her to come to the meeting tomorrow? I can do that. Okay, awesome. Yuri, you don't have to worry about anything, but thank you for being my friend. You're a good listener. And of course, hydrate. Think with the Hydrate Evo. Fidgeting with her hair, Yuri turns away to hide a smile. Well, I guess for today it's gonna be a pretty quiet club meeting. I'm gonna step out for a bit. Is that okay? Yeah, I'm just gonna read with Yuri. Hey, is this one of Natsuki's books? How come it's out here? So he picks up a manga and was resting on an adjacent desk. Oh, that? Natsuki probably just left it out by accident. But I thought she hadn't been coming to the club. Actually, Monica's been... Okay, Yuri, I'm sure... Okay, Yuri, I'm sure it was just someone else who was using this classroom then, okay? Monica smiles at them both. Then, with a wave, she exits the club room. I really shouldn't have left that out. If Sayori catches on, she'll definitely tell Natsuki, and that would get really awkward. Now, I wonder if there's a keyboard I could borrow from the music room. Time for the club meeting. The next club meeting has already arrived. Monica and Yuri are first to arrive. I'm so worried. Do you think Sayori's gonna be able to bring Natsuki? Yeah. How do you know? Well, she's Sayori. You know, you're right. Time slowly passes. Monica sits and stands up to pace around, then sits again. Yuri's eyes don't move from her book. Then the door finally opens. Sayori marches inside. Behind her, Natsuki shuffles inside, nervously looking around the room. We're here! Welcome back. Monica, the club president, stands up and greets him with a smile. Sayori picks a desk and takes a seat. Natsuki sits closely next to her. Looking back and forth between the club members, Monica is struck with a nostalgic feeling. She would stand at the front of the club room just like this, struggling to picture just who may eventually be sitting before her. But imagination was never enough to predict just how unique and diverse each member would be. Each with their own struggles, her own reasons for seeking the vision that Monica had, admittedly so vaguely advertised. Seeking trust, understanding, respect. What new lesson will the future hold for the literature club? Realizing she's about to get ahead of herself, Monica takes a deep breath and returns the present. Okay, everyone. The literature club's starting. We have an activity planned for today. Monica turns around to face the chalkboard. On it, she writes manga in big letters. Today, we're going to learn from an expert about a unique form of literature, manga. Oh, come on. Isn't this kind of forced? I don't actually want to do this, so just... Monica shakes her head. Natsuki, This is the hardest part. After making it this far, it'd be so easy to just smile and move on. That's not enough, not this time. I'm sorry. It was wrong of me not to take you seriously when you were kind enough to show interest in my club. I thought about it, and I realized how biased I was against manga. It caused me to disrespect you, and I'm sorry. But I think I think you deserve to be able to share your passion with us. So, can I make it up to you? Well, thanks, but I know you're only doing this because Sayori told you so. Wait, that's not true. Monica planned this all by herself. I didn't even get a chance to talk to her. I was witness to this as well. This is a literature club. The literature club is a place where everyone gets to be themselves. We all have our own interests and our differences. It's my vision to let us freely express that. And it's my goal to respect everyone for them. So I just want to learn about the things that makes you happy. I think you deserve to share that joy as much as everyone else does. Is that okay? Natsuki looks away and hesitates. But it's really dumb. The stuff I'm into. Monica smiles. She kneels in front of Natsuki's desk, looking straight into her eyes. If you like it, then it's not dumb. No, except for me. Sayori, you're not dumb either. What the heck? You guys are so weird. Fine, I'll show you some of my manga. Only because you admitted that's literature after all. Natsuki stands up. Oh yeah, I didn't say this before. I'm actually into writing too. Kind of a pro. But I didn't want you to just like me for that. Wow, really? I really did have you wrong all along, Natsuki. Yeah, whatever. Today's not about that anyway, right? It's about manga, so I hope you're ready. A week has passed since Natsuki returned to the literature club. Since then, the club activity has been in full swing. Each club member had received a day in the spotlight to share all their favorite kinds of literature with each other. As another meeting draws to a close, Monica approaches Natsuki on the way out. Natsuki, are you in a hurry home or anything? Me? Not particularly. Why? Oh, there's just something I want to show you, if you had a few minutes. Sure, what is it? It's not here. Can you follow me to the music room? The music room? Why? Well, you'll see. Damn! New room altogether? You know, I was thinking back. When the club was just me and Sayori, we would talk about how we envisioned the club to turn out. We cared a lot about it being a place where people could express themselves. And she said something strange to me. She said that I was trying to make the club the thing that I needed, more than anyone. But I think it wasn't until you joined that I fully understood that. Because you really taught me a lot about myself. Like, things that I was probably too stubborn to admit. Oh, come on, you can't mean that. I didn't even do anything. I just, brought a bunch of manga, then got fussy when I didn't have my way. It really was stupid of me to make such a big deal out of it. No, I honestly needed it. If you didn't express that you were hurt, I never would have realized that I did something wrong. Besides, your feelings are valid. They deserve to be heard and respected. It's just really hard to feel that way sometimes. You know, I really shouldn't care about what other people think in the first place. When you're just criticized by everyone around you for being a certain way, it can really get hard to brush it off. Maybe you start to feel like I'm the problem. Like, I'm not doing enough to please everyone else. Am I being too entitled if I just want people to like me without having to hide a bunch of stuff about myself? I don't think I am. I just wish that sometimes people would try to appreciate me for who I actually am. As Monica listens, she recalls vividly how Natsuki's friends were treating her, and how naturally they did so. How long has she been fighting against that, refusing to change for others? I could only wish I was as strong as you are, Natsuki. You're so honest with yourself. I'm always trying to come off as perfect for other people. Anytime there's a hint of contention, I just crumble. But it's thanks to you that I really started to understand about this. I really started thinking about this stuff. You really inspired me to start working on it. But well, like I said, I didn't even do anything. You were just being yourself. That's all you need to do. Also, there's something else. Monica takes a breath. The thing is, I might have read a little bit of your manga. What, you? What the heck? Why didn't you tell me? I'm sorry. I think I just felt like kind of embarrassed to admit it after I gave you such a hard time about it. I can't believe you, of all people, are reading a manga behind my back. That's so funny. Yeah, well, I just flipped through one of them out of curiosity, but I ended up reading a whole bunch of it. But I mean, one of the characters was in a literature club. What are the chances, right? You're reading Parfait Girls? Wow, you have good taste. Just one volume. And I kind of just picked it up randomly. Well, you have good intuition then. You have to tell me all about your favorite parts. Well, I think it was some kind of weird fate. Because the character isn't just in a literature club, she also plays piano. It's just weird because I've always wanted to learn piano. She was like the perfect person that I always wish I was. If I just did what I wanted instead of always second guessing myself. Monica walks over to the piano and sits down. Oh, this is pretty. I always felt like I should only share the absolute best part of myself. The parts that'll impress people or make them like me more. But after you joined the club, I really realized how self-destructive that mentality is. We share things because we want to express ourselves. Sharing experiences allows us to share emotions. And it just felt like I want to show you this, because if it wasn't for you, I never would have started playing. Hey, I think the credit for that one goes to Parfait Girls, not me. No. Well, maybe it's true that Parfait Girls put that through my head. But it was still you who inspired me to keep practicing every day. Every day? Because, you know, you just make me feel like if I want to do something, I should just do it. I mean, I still haven't been practicing for very long, and I'm not really good at it yet, like, at all. But I wrote a song for this club, and I worked really hard on it. Doesn't have any words or anything, but, well, yeah. Why does this feel like a credit sequence when I know there's like twice as many stories coming through? I like this. So this is more than they had to do. Like, I saw the piano thing coming, but doing a little, just a little montage. Like, well, if it ends here. That's cute. They could have just literally been the CG and the music playing. Although, truthfully, maybe I'd have liked more CGs here, but whatever. Kind of hard to tell what they're talking about, considering they only have so many sprites and there's no text box to tell me where in the store we are. Like, here, I know that this is Yuri telling Monica about how she doesn't want to feel pitied. But then it's like, wait, which conversation is this? Which moment was this? Still, though, cute. This feels like they wrote these 4 stories and they're like, yeah, that's a good little bow, good little ribbon. And they're like, we got budget and time for more. This is a Doki Doki if it was actually just a slice of life visual novel versus what it actually was. This is end of season 1. Pretty. I'm gonna assume that's also the song that ends up in my, what is it? Playlist. That's all. That was so good. It was? Yeah, are you kidding? You're like already a pro. I'm not even close. Song have a name? Said it was about the club, so yeah. It's called My Song, Your Note. Because everyone brings something so unique to the club. It's completely different from how I first imagined it. But I was like such a selfish perfectionist. It shouldn't be about me, it should be about everyone. And it's like all of you who want to help shape the club into what it is. I'd never change for that. Well... that's really thoughtful. And kind of flattering. Kind of feel like I don't deserve this much validation. I wasn't exactly very patient either when I first joined the club. Makes me feel like I should probably apologize too. I think I was just really fed up with a lot of things. I got frustrated after not getting my way in the club. So yeah, really didn't mean to take it out on you. I was being really immature. Get my stubborn butt to apologize. I guess you're doing something right. It's fine. I'm past it too. I think we're already even. Besides, it's really sweet that you were thinking about it. It takes a lot of maturity to reflect on those things. Well, I wonder who I got it from. No, never mind. Well, anyway, we're even as long as you let me keep my manga in the club room. You did admit it's a form of literature. You totally can't take it back now. You got me. My closet's all yours. I'll tell you what, I'll bring a little something for the club tomorrow. I want to do something nice in return. What kind of little something? Oh, you'll see. But I don't think you'll be disappointed. Jeez, I wonder what it is. Next club meeting ends up being a particularly tasty one. And that's that. That is the... I wonder where the stories go from here. Because now it just looks like, okay, what other characters can we pair up and get them to talk together? Even though it didn't necessarily feel like each chapter was like a pairing of characters, it just sort of felt like... This side story, like, I know it says side stories. It's like, oh, these are all just small little stories. But let's be real. This is just one main story altogether. Like, if I had started them backwards because I wanted to end with Monica, then I'd have totally screwed myself over out of, like, the proper way to read it. Where is the song? My song, Your Notes, piano. We got new pictures. Cute. Finished side story, respect 2. Are these also new? Never mind. Never mind. I know what I want. Got my new wallpaper. No mail, though, or files. But that's fine because I've learned what we gotta do for files. And it's fucked up. And I'm not gonna do it today because I'm lazy. I know I said we're ending a little early, but truthfully, this is like, what, half an hour from our usual? And I streamed an entire extra hour of Elden Ring? I think I earned this. Ow, fuck my knee. Anyways, these are really cute. I know some of the messages are kind of very like, well, duh, but I think it's sweet, and sometimes some people just need to hear these things and hear these messages and hear these things these characters are saying. And especially because even though it shouldn't have been, considering the age rating on this game is M, let's be real, online culture has kind of popularized Doki Doki with a lot of kids. So at the very least, I hope if they somehow convince their parents to buy them this, which, parents, why are you letting your kids buy this game? It says M on the fucking thing right there. But there's worse games to play that don't deliver any messages like that. And these are really sweet and these are really cute. And I can definitely see them helping people who are sort of struggling with things like this. Even if it's something is kind of like, maybe you should talk to people and respect one another. Right? Simple messages. But sometimes you need to be reminded of those simple messages. We forget the basics. Also, I'm not gonna lie, I absolutely adore that this whole thing, I know it's about the club, but let's be real, a lot of it is from Monica's perspective. And she's the one doing a lot of growing as a character. They're all sort of growing alongside each other, but she had the most room to grow. And I'm glad. I'm finally getting the Monica story I wanted. It's a really sweet direction, exactly. So we're gonna end it here, but we do got some jabronis to thank. For starters, let me go ahead and... Where was it? Golden Phantom Overlord, thank you so much for the follow while I was offline. Thor447, thank you for the follow as well while I was offline. Azrael_1000, thank you for the follows, we got started. Kiato, thank you for finally following. I thought this was a bit, I thought you following was a bit. I just kind of assumed you never wanted to actually do that. X_just Monica, thank you for the follow. Ogrius, thank you so much for the raid. And Tama, thank you so much for the raid. I'll be back tomorrow with some Fire Emblem 3 Houses, and hopefully a surprise for the Fire Emblem players, or just anyone who was there for the last Fire Emblem stream. Hopefully I got a surprise for you tomorrow. And then Friday, I really hope to see a lot of you, all of you there Friday. We're doing a little special, just summoning, all right? 666 milestone, we hit that however many days ago. And I thought we'd celebrate, so I put together a little celebration. I hope to see y'all there for it. Y'all take care and y'all have a good one. Let's see if there's someone we can raid. Oh, right. Fingers crossed, right? Fingers crossed. She's not ending soon, but it looks like I might have a chance to finally send some love back over to the Floofy Panda. So let's go ahead and, you know what? Even if she's ending, fuck it. Let's boost those numbers at the very end. I can't tell this is just a thumbnail. Please don't be ending. Please don't be ending. Please don't be ending. Fingers fucking crossed. All right. I'm doing it anyways. Let's get this raid message. Okay, how's about... First of all, how's about I change the song from this creepy one to something like... There we go. Followed by... What's a cute one? You know what? Doki Doki, right? It's the onomatopoeia for like your heartbeat. We'll do the love emote. Haven't used love in a little bit. All right, 1, 2, 3. There's the raid message, and if you're not subscribed, go ahead and... Oh, what the fuck? That's not colon. Go ahead and use this one. 2, 3. All right. Go show Floofy Panda some love. Panda's adorable. Y'all take care. Y'all have a good one. I'll be seeing ya. Be seeing you. Bye-bye now. Once my fucking Stream Deck wants to let me swap overlays. All right, bye. Oh. Actually. Fuck. Panda literally just went offline as I hit. Okay. Well, that's that. Never mind then. We're just gonna head to bed. Y'all take care and have a good one. Bye-bye now.